Women's lib, my dear Sally, is merely a fad which ranks somewhere between hula hoops and streaking. As Mr. Darwin observed in his Origin of Species, male superiority is the natural order of things. It is the male who fearlessly defends the hearth, the male who tirelessly provides for the needs of his family.
Are you sure that Darwin said that? Sounds more like McMillan to me.
Now here, we have a perfect example. Notice the manner in which this enterprising fellow hustles a living for his family. Notice also the helpless female, totally dependent upon her mate, and who lies there like a klutz. Not only do we have an example here of total dependence, but just plain out-and-out laziness.
Mac, I don't want to say anything, but your theory is a little cockeyed. You see, the bear that's putting on the show, that's the girl bear. The other bear, the one that's so lazy up there, is one of your people.
Nice try.
How much do you want to bet?
I believe she's serious.
How much?
I hate to do this, Sally. It's like taking candy from a baby. Name it.
All right. The loser makes dinner tonight. 4-star service and no help from Mildred.
Done. Now, I think tonight I'd like to have prime rib for dinner. I think that would be nice, perhaps. First, a nice dry martini, chilled to perfection.
Hey, no peanuts.
Pardon me, sir.
Samson and Delilah.
Well, we were just sort of wondering which one was which.
Oh, well, this one here is Delilah, and that one back there is Samson, the laziest bum on 4 legs.
Are you sure?
Yeah, I'm sure. I gave the bride away.
Well, you can always take it up with Darwin. After dinner. For dinner, let's see. I think I'll have a Stilton cheese souffle. Just a moment. Thank you. I think I'd like something nice and long and cool before you get started.
You'll get ice water.
Oh, it's you. I was hoping it was mice, and then I could go back to sleep.
You can, Mildred, because you've got the night off.
Night off? What am I going to do with the night off?
Well, go to sleep. That's what you wanted, isn't it?
Well, I mean, if I have the night off, I feel sort of obligated to do something with it, like, well, you know, go to my sister's and be miserable. You just can't waste a night off.
I'm sorry, Mildred.
Oh, everything's a dilemma. By the way, what's the occasion?
Oh, maybe he can explain it to you.
Apple juice.
Thank you.
Hey, why do I have to go to my sister's tonight?
You're free as a bird, Mildred. Count your blessings.
The commissioner has graciously insisted upon making dinner this evening.
Oh, another one of those dumb bets. And you lost again, huh?
Good night, Mildred.
I always heard you were very bright down at headquarters. How come you, keep losing all these bets?
Good night, Mildred.
Gonna make dinner again, huh?
Good night, Mildred.
Listen, are you sure you don't want me to hang around? I mean, you didn't win much with Chef Pierre in there, you know.
It's the thought that counts. I'm going to enjoy every minute of it.
Okay. Better get myself changed and get out of here. What are you going to make, Commissioner?
Souffle.
Oh, from burnt toast to a souffle. That takes guts.
Mac, you know, I think some of those nice little pizza hors d'oeuvres would go very well right now. How's it going, Mac?
Just great. Dinner will be ready in just a few minutes.
I simply can't understand the problem, Mac. I asked for a simple Stilton cheese souffle with sautéed mushrooms, and you make it such a problem. Whatever happened to that famous male superiority? Mac, the door. Hi.
I'm looking for Mr. McMillan. I have a message for him.
He's real busy right now. I'm Mrs. McMillan. Can I help you?
I have to deliver the message in person.
Oh, come on in. Mac, there's somebody here to see you.
What is it?
Mr. McMillan?
Yes?
Could I see some identification, please? He doth raise his country's fame with his own, and in the mouths of nations yet unborn, his praises shall be sung. Death comes to all, but great achievements raise a monument which shall endure until the sun grows cold.
Georgius Fabricius.
Terrace and Fifth, 9:30.
Well, that's a terrific act, fellas.
Son, who sent you?
I don't know, a man.
What did he look like?
Well, I couldn't see much of his face. He had on dark glasses and a hat.
All right.
I didn't do anything wrong.
No.
Give me $10 to say that. That's all I know.
You are?
Bye.
Mac, what was that? You look like you've just seen a ghost.
I just heard from one. Dinner's ready.
Well, that was some kind of a crazy message, wasn't it, Mac?
Code. I haven't heard that word since I was with intelligence.
What did the part mean about, Georgius, what's his name?
Georgius Fabricius.
Yeah.
Countersign. Message was part of a eulogy written in 1550.
You mean one of your agency buddies is trying to get in touch with you?
Dwight Carmichael.
Well, that's kind of exciting, isn't it, Mac?
Yeah. Kind of weird, too. He's been dead for 30 years.
It is odd, sir. You get a message from a stranger to meet you here. He turns up dead, and there is not a scrap of identification.
That's right.
Well, it must have been important. I wonder what it was he wanted to tell you.
He said it was important. That's why I came.
Well, there must be something that we can go on, sir.
I have never seen that face before in my life.
Are you sure? That you don't remember it?
Just take my word for it.
Well, I'm only trying to help. No. Well, it is weird, isn't it? I wonder what it was that he wanted.
I wish I knew.
Maybe it wasn't Carmichael.
Oh, it was Carmichael, all right. Even with that face job, you couldn't mistake that scar in his arm. Burned in an air crash in Dresden.
Mac, what had made you think he was dead?
We worked together. He disappeared on a mission. A couple of months later, we heard he was dead. The source was solid, stone cold dead. Only he wasn't dead. Not until tonight. Now, how do I put that in an official report without breaching national security? Poor Enright asked me a couple of perfectly logical questions, and I almost bit his head off.
Mac, you're not in intelligence anymore. Why do you have to keep Carmichael a secret?
Because he was still a part of it. That's why he was working undercover. He had something to tell me, something about business, only he didn't get to tell me, and that's what makes it a problem. A security problem.
Why can't you just call someone in Washington?
Oh, sure, I could call Washington, but I'm not going to. He had something to tell me. Something to tell me and nobody else. When I find out what that is, then I'll call Washington. He's a good guy. I like that guy. I owe him something.
Where are you going to begin? He's a man who's got no face. He's got no identification.
This is all I've got. So I'll begin with this. I'm all alone in this, Sally. I may have to ask your help. Will you help me?
Always.
That's it?
That's it.
I'll tell you something. I think you need a chemistry professor, or better still, a clairvoyant for this job.
Could it be a Balkan mixture? That's what he always used.
Oh, sure. It's a Balkan mixture. It looks like a Balkan mixture. But which Balkan mixture? There must be 95 of them.
95, that's all? Gee, that's not bad, is it, Mac?
No, that's very encouraging.
Wait a minute. I think I know somebody that can help you. Did you ever hear of Rico Martinez?
Rico Martinez, the guitarist?
His father was a Cuban tobacconist. Rico is fantastic. He knows everything there is to know.
Sold. I'll look him up.
Mac.
Hmm?
What do you think?
Yeah, it does wonders for you.
Not for me, for you. On the other hand, you may be right.
Thank you very much.
My pleasure.
Come, Sally.
Thank you. And may I know my audience?
My name is McMillan, Senor Martinez. I wonder if I could talk to you for a moment.
Of course. Commissioner McMillan, isn't it?
That's right.
And your companion.
Mrs. McMillan, Senor Martinez.
Nice to meet you, Mrs. McMillan.
That was beautiful.
Thank you very much. And how can I help you, Commissioner?
Senor Martinez, I understand you're an expert on tobacco.
Well, of sorts.
I wonder if you could help me with this.
Balkan. It's a unique mixture. The man who smokes this is most discriminating.
He is, yes.
It's called Duvan Shateri, which is nothing more than Serbian for mixture number 3. Very rare in these parts. The only shop that may carry it is Selwyn's on Cable Street.
Well, that's what it looks like, but it's the only one I've got left. I was just about to mail it out to a customer.
Is this your customer? Is it him?
I think so. What's he doing on the ground like that?
Just, sleeping it off. I'd like his address, please.
I'm sorry, sir. I can't give out that information.
Right.
Here it is. Carl Reese, 385 Marlborough Street.
Thank you very much.
He wasn't really asleep, was he?
No. Here we are. Carl Reese, apartment B.
Suppose nobody answers, Mac.
Well, maybe Mrs. Goodbody will.
Who's Mrs. Goodbody?
The manager.
Oh, the manageress.
Right. Good old Mrs. Goodbody.
I don't do this for everybody. Next time it's gonna take a warrant. I don't care who you are. I'm not even sure this key fits.
Well, I certainly hate to inconvenience you, Mrs. Goodbody, but perhaps $10 more would help.
Everything helps. Don't take anything, or else I'll have to call the police. Don't take anything.
Well, now, shall we?
Just don't take anything. Did you find anything?
I'm not sure.
What are you doing?
Mm-hmm. Carl Reese.
My goodness. Very good. I've got Greece, Turkey, Hong Kong, Spain, Malta, etc., etc. I'd say someone was planning a trip somewhere.
Any place.
Plus, turn it over.
To Carl, love, Laura.
Well, we've got something to go on. Can't say you did too much for this jacket.
Mrs. Goodbody didn't say anything about tearing clothes up. Yeah, it's something. Laura could be 3,000 miles away.
Look at this.
Can you make that out?
Dishwasher. Dishwasher. Maybe it's elephant. I don't know. If Carmichael bought this, he didn't buy it for himself. At a boutique?
Laura.
Laura.
Let's go.
Ah, Mrs. Goodbody.
I'm not sure what it says. It looks like a elephant
Or dishwasher.
or dishwasher. I better check the number.
Mac, what do you think of these? For after the baby, naturally.
I like them. Practical, too. Bulletproof.
I found it. One leather carryall, $46.50, and that was yesterday.
Who wrote it up?
Looks like BC. Must have been Bonnie.
Could I talk to her?
Oh, she's off today.
Free initials. Do you keep records on these?
Oh, you mean on this one? I think we do. Let me check.
Well, that was very good.
Not necessarily. There's no law that says you have to have initials put on them.
The thing is, not everybody bothers with initials. You're in luck. Silver initials, LR.
Two leads, Mac.
Laura R. Plus the very strong possibility that she and Carmichael were going to be traveling together.
Carry-all bag, right?
Which gives us the passport office to check. Come on.
There could be another lead. Laura R. could mean that she's married to Carl Reese.
Very good. Means we have a lot to cover this afternoon.
We could split up.
No way. You need a badge at the passport office and a badge at the Bureau of Records.
Right.
This is Commissioner McMillan. Let me have Sergeant Enright.
Excuse me, is this new passport? I think it's right over here.
No, this is my first trip out of the country, and I just can't believe it. Look, I've been studying French for 3 weeks, and I don't remember a word. Oh, maybe I'll see you over there. Where are you going?
We don't know yet.
Oh, well, have a wonderful trip.
Sorry to hold you up, Commissioner. We don't have anything on a Laura Reese. Got a few other Lauras for you, though.
Looks like we're out of luck.
Are you sure the application was filed here, Commissioner?
I'm not even sure the application was filled out.
Hi, Sergeant.
What did you find out?
Oh, nothing very much, sir, I'm afraid. If Carl and Laura Reese were married, it couldn't have happened in San Francisco. There's nothing on file at the Bureau of Records.
What is it?
Huh? Oh, it's nothing much, sir. It's just that when I pulled up here, I saw some guy sniffing around your car. Well, at first I thought maybe he was going to try and grab it, but then he got into his own car and drove off.
Get a good look at him?
No, not too good.
Wearing a green alpine hat and driving a rust-colored sedan?
Yes, sir, that's the guy. Well, who is he?
I don't know, but he's been following us for a couple of hours.
You didn't tell me that.
Did you get his license?
Yes, sir.
Good.
May I ask the commissioner something?
You mean, what's it all about?
Yes, sir.
Well, it's a little complicated and definitely not for publication.
I understand, sir.
Carl Reese was the man who was murdered last night. I knew him years ago under another name.
Well, shouldn't that go in the report, sir? I mean, we don't have a single lead.
It's definitely a security problem. He works for the government.
Oh. Well, do you want me to check out the license?
That's probably a John Doe rental, but yes, I guess you better check it out.
Right. By the way, Commissioner, you better get going.
Why?
Well, I don't know for sure, but it was on your calendar. Some sort of christening.
Oh, the ship. We're supposed to christen it. Sergeant, we gotta christen the ship. I christen thee number 7384.
That was a fine launching, Mrs. McMillan.
Thank you, Commissioner.
I don't believe it. Walt Harmon.
Damn it, Mac, it is good to see you.
I figured you'd be in some Albanian prison somewhere or a villa on the Riviera by now.
On government pay. You look like you've done all right for yourself, Commissioner.
Well, we're all both in the same business, public service. Sally, I'd like you to meet a very old friend, Walt Harmon.
How do you do?
You're very beautiful, Mrs. McMillan. And very lucky.
Thank you.
This is a little off the beaten path for you, isn't it, Walt? What brings your body to San Francisco?
Just passing through.
Is that yours?
He's a good man. He worries a little about the crease in his trousers, but he's a good man.
Would it be indiscreet of me to suggest that you two had worked together at one time?
No, that's a reasonable suggestion, Mrs. McMillan.
Call me Sally.
Walt used to be my boss.
Oh.
You got a minute, Mac?
Hey, take your time. I'll wait in the car. Nice to meet you all.
Tell you the truth, Mac, I've been in San Francisco for a couple of months. I really couldn't contact you.
And shouldn't now.
No.
That important, huh?
It is.
Carmichael?
Yeah, Carmichael. Mac, I'm going to ask you to lay off.
Where do you fit in?
What difference does that make?
All the difference in the world.
It's a powder keg, Mac. The agency could get hurt.
So could my department if I don't do something about his murder. Now, Walt, tell me what you know.
Well, I know he contacted you. I know you found him dead. I don't know who did it. That's it.
That's it?
That's it.
I need more than that.
Mac, you've been around the dirty tricks business. You're a veteran. You know certain things have to stay in the can.
Murder is not one of them. Not around here.
That's pretty high-toned.
It's part of my job. Now, Walt, look. If I didn't think I was involved in a security situation, I wouldn't feel as if I had to keep this investigation low-key. Now, as police commissioner of San Francisco, I have to walk a very, very thin line.
All right. All right, I'll give you everything I've got, starting back in '64, when Carmichael slipped into East Europe, got himself grabbed, and didn't have the good grace to bite into that tiny cyanide cure. Fact is, over the next couple of years, he got less and less graceful. And you really couldn't blame him. A prison cell the size of a toilet will do that for you, especially when you know you're settled in it for life. So,
he sold out.
An agent never sells out. You know that, Mac. He simply exercises his survival flexibilities.
Which accounts for the plastic job.
And they give him a new face, a new name, and a new job.
Right here.
Exactly. Now they have a floater here who can operate with perfect impunity. An ex-agent whose face couldn't be recognized by our people in a million years.
Maybe you recognized him.
And had him killed. Hey, that's pretty good. You haven't lost your touch, Mac. That's a good scenario. It holds. Except it didn't happen that way. Carmichael came to me, gave me some background, said he'd be back in a couple of days with a proposition. Maybe that's where you fit in, Mac. Maybe he figured on you to play broker.
You knew he contacted me. You also knew he was killed. That means you had a tail on him. I'm just wondering if you had the same man on me today. Stamped out model like your boy over there, only with an alpine hat with a feather in it.
Mac, not one of mine.
Okay, well. You're not finished, are you?
Oh, did I leave something out?
Oh, I was just wondering how much you knew about that girl.
Laura?
Laura.
Oh. Well, I know as much about the girl as you do, Mac, which is nothing. Except she could be in trouble.
Why?
She was Carmichael's lady friend. Carmichael's dead. What's it going to be, Mac?
I can't drop it.
You are stubborn, Mac. You always was stubborn, you know that? Only, they don't let it get you in over your head,
How?
You got a job to do? Okay, do it. But keep it low-key.
Make it sound like an order.
All the way from Washington, Mac. People back there are going to be embarrassed about Carmichael. They get embarrassed enough, there's going to be some sound, there's going to be some fury. I wouldn't want you to lose your job, Commissioner.
Is that a threat?
No, no, no. It's just advice. Only if you really need me.
Yes?
Yes, I wonder if I could speak with Laura Rice.
She passed away 2 days ago.
Oh, I'm sorry.
She was 86 years old, and she'd had a good life. Are you one of her girls?
Beg your pardon?
One of her girls from the Unwed Mothers League. Mrs. Rice was the president.
Oh, no. I'm sorry, I must have the wrong person. Thank you.
Well, there's nothing to be ashamed of, young lady. We're here if you need us.
Does Laura Ricketts work here?
Laura, somebody wants to see you.
Coming! She'll be right out. Thank you.
You wanted to see me?
Yes, could I have a cup of coffee, please?
2 minuti.
Okay.
I must have covered 50 miles today, up and down the hills. Do you know what I am becoming? An expert on Lauras. Tall Lauras, short Lauras, fat Lauras, thin Lauras, little Lauras, big Lauras, Lauras that are married, Lauras that are divorced, and Lauras that are living in sin. I covered the telephone book, the welfare list, the voter registration. I'm out of Lauras, Mac. How did you do?
Nothing. Never left the altar. Today was bureaucracy's finest hour.
What about the unlisted phone numbers?
Enright checked them out. Not a thing.
What about that license plate, the man with the hat?
Dead end. Turned out to be a John Doe rental after all. He dumped the car 20 minutes after Enright spotted him.
Maybe that man with the hat doesn't work for Walt Harmon.
He works for Walt, all right. Walt was chief of my unit for 5 years. We went through hell and high water together. I know how he works. If the situation were reversed, I'd do the same thing. I'd put a tail on him.
Well, I'm not going to think about it anymore. Here comes dinner, and I'm starving. Does that smell good?
Enjoy.
Grazie.
You don't.
No, go ahead.
No, go on. Go on.
I hate to disturb you, Commissioner, but they said it's important.
Yes. What? No. I haven't. Right. Yeah, I'll be right over.
What was that?
Laura?
Our Laura?
Our Laura. She wants to see me now.
You're kidding. How did she find you?
Called home. Mildred told her we were here. Senora, look, you go ahead and finish. There's no reason for both of us to go over there.
Mac,
I'll see you at home.
Mac, I'm an expert on Laura. Remember?
Senora, it breaks my heart, but we have to leave.
Oh. Ernestina, do you have a doggy bag for linguine?
Looks like Harmon's called off his dogs. Sally.
It's so good, I hate to throw it away.
Stay down. Stay back.
Why would anyone try to kill me? I don't understand.
I don't either. That's what I'm going to find out. Why did you call me, Laura?
Well, it sounds crazy now, but... A friend gave me your number and told me that if I didn't hear from him in 24 hours, I should call you.
Carl Reese.
Yes.
Go on.
Well, it sounded mysterious and silly at first. I thought he was joking. But then I didn't hear from him, and I got worried, so I called you. And then this happened, and,
Well, now I don't know what's going on. What is happening? Is Carl in some sort of trouble with the police?
No, Laura. Carl's dead.
No. No. Oh, no. Oh, no. I'm sorry.
I know this isn't the right time, Laura, but I have to ask you some questions.
I think I'll get you a glass of water.
You see, Laura, Carl was murdered.
Murdered? That must be why he gave me your phone number. He must have known he was in danger.
What do you know about him, Laura?
He was quiet. He stayed to himself. He didn't bother anyone. Why would anyone hurt him? Why would anyone want to hurt me?
Did he ever talk about his work?
Not very much. I knew it had something to do with insurance. Insurance investigating, I think.
Did he ever mention which company?
No. Oh, I think maybe he did once, but I didn't pay any attention. The home office was back east somewhere. That's why he could work out of his apartment here.
How long was he here in San Francisco?
Only a few months. We met when he first came out here.
And you were going to be married. You were going abroad. Where, Laura?
We weren't sure. We talked about it dozens of places. We were like a couple of kids. Everything had such a special excitement about it. It was wonderful.
What were his plans? How were you going to live?
He'd, come into some money. An uncle, I think. But that wasn't the truth, was it? He didn't tell me everything, did he?
No.
Will you tell me? Please tell me.
Carl worked with the government. That's all I can tell you. All set?
Yes, sir.
Laura, I want you to move out of here for a few days. I don't think anybody will bother you again, but I'd rather be on the safe side.
If you think it's better.
I'd feel better. Now, if you want to go anywhere, if you want to go shopping, to work, anywhere, I'll have somebody along with you to keep an eye on you.
Better put some things in the bag, I guess.
If there's anything you need now, Sergeant N right here, we'll get it for you.
Thank you.
And if there's anything that I can do, you just call me.
Thank you. Commissioner, I almost forgot. Wait. That's for you.
From Carl?
Yes, he said if I had to call you, I should give you that. But he didn't say anything else. What could it be for?
I don't know. Probably nothing very important. Now, Sergeant, I want you to take good care of Miss... Laura, what is your last name?
Rainey.
Rainey.
There wasn't any Laura Rainey in the telephone book.
It's not listed in the phone book. Not under my name, anyway. It's listed under Miller. I sublet this apartment.
Oh, it's you.
What did you expect?
Well, burglars, if it wasn't you.
Did we get any calls, Mildred?
Yeah, my sister. Do you want to hear about it, or do you have something else to do this evening?
Pretend you're paying for a telegram.
Okay. Let's see. She has the gout. Stop. She's very happy. Stop. She hears that only rich people get the gout. Stop. Love, Mildred.
Stop.
How was dinner tonight?
Well, have you got anything in the kitchen?
You hungry? Where do you get off being hungry?
Well, it's just not the same when you eat out of a container.
You eat $9 worth of linguine and you're hungry?
You know, sometimes you two sound exactly like my sister. I'll just go put a couple of cans of water in the soup. Oh, anybody want a melted cheese sandwich?
Fine.
I don't have any cheese.
You know, he made it tough. This key is a duplicate. Not a single identification mark.
Well, I don't know how Carmichael ever expected you to figure out what it's for.
Oh, I know what it's for.
What?
Key to a safety deposit box. There must be at least 25,000 of them in this city alone.
Why do spies always work in riddles? Why couldn't Carmichael have just told Laura what bank he wanted you to go to?
Didn't want her to know, probably. Didn't want her to get involved.
Well, I feel sorry for Laura. She's so confused, Mac.
He was playing good odds, Sally. If the key somehow got into somebody else's hands, whatever is in the safety deposit box would remain safe.
I see what you mean. Not just anybody can open up a safety deposit box.
Commissioner of Police can.
Now, there's an officer right outside the door if you need anything. Are you all right, Miss Rainey?
Yes. Fine, thank you. It's funny, isn't it? How people say they're fine even when the world is falling apart around them. What am I doing here anyway? Why is this all happening? It's so confusing.
Well, it settles. It always settles. People pick up and they start again, and then it's behind them.
Thank you, Sergeant.
Good night.
Good night. Sergeant, would it be all right if I used the telephone? A friend of mine may be trying to call me at my place, and I'm afraid she'll be worried.
You use that phone as much as you like. This is your home for a few days.
You're very kind.
Good night.
Hello. It's me. No. No, they've moved me for a few days. The new number is 555-5933. No. No problem. Everything went beautifully. I'll talk to you tomorrow.
No. R-E-I-S-S. Reese. Carl Reese. Nothing? All right, thank you.
Hi, Maggie.
Hello.
Hey, is he in?
He's in, all right. He's been on the phone for hours.
Oh, he's still on the phone. That's a bad sign.
I beg your pardon?
Never mind. I think I'll just go in and see him.
I see. Well, thank you very much.
Any luck?
No luck. I ran out of banks.
Is it possible that Carmichael used his own name instead of the name Carl Reese?
I tried that.
Oh. Maybe he used another name. How about that name, that code name the little boy told us about the
Georges
other night?
Fabricius?
Right.
Hey, you're getting very good. You know that? I tried that, too.
Oh.
There's something missing. Hello, Miss Layton? Yes, this is Commissioner McMillan again. I have another name for you. You're right. Stuart McMillan.
If you need anything else, Commissioner, please let me know.
Thank you.
Have a nice day.
That's it?
What were you expecting?
Well, I don't know, $1 million, diamonds, something. Keystone.
Keystone.
What is that? Is that somebody's name? Somebody you know?
No, it's not anybody's name. It's agency jargon. Keystone means #2 man of the unit.
Ah, that's great. It could be any unit anywhere.
Walt Harmon's unit.
Do you mean to tell me that the killer is in Walt Harmon's unit? And he doesn't even know it?
That's it. Looks like Walt's gonna have to work with me after all, whether he likes it or not.
Well, that's not very likely after the meeting you had with him.
He hasn't got any choice. I have something he needs, and he's not gonna get it until I get the cooperation I need. It's as simple as that.
Magnificent, isn't it? All the drama, mystery of life in that fading light. Easy does it. There we go. Well, Mac, what do you think of my bureaucratic image these days, eh?
Yeah, it looks like your cover is finally caught up with your personal lifestyle.
The boys in the accounting office won't like it, but then we never did get along. Sally, won't you please sit down? I'm going to mix us something to drink. What would you like?
Something soft.
Something soft. How about orange juice, eh?
That'd be great.
What about you, Mac?
Oh, the usual.
Usual. That would be a martini, yeah?
Aha.
I know I don't have to tell you this, Mac. It's a funny thing. People attach a certain glamour to this business. Pretty soon, though, the glamour fades and it becomes just a tough job with an element of risk. And after a while, you get used to that. And then you discover that wonder of wonders, you're thoroughly jaded. You realize there isn't a single decent human being on the face of this earth. Except maybe the guy next to you when you need him. The next thing you know, 20 years go by, and you make another discovery. You're a professional schizophrenic. You start dividing yourself into reality and fantasy. And reality is what you've come to accept as life. Fantasy is what you suddenly long to escape to. And you know what it is you want to escape to? What everybody else calls normal. More than anything else in the world, you want to be normal. Because it finally hits you that you're lonely.
Thank you.
Nostrovia.
Cheers.
Well, Mac, I know you didn't come down here with the sunset, and I don't think we're hiding anything from Sally now, so tell me, what's on your mind, huh?
Straight?
Yeah, sure, straight.
You've been holding out on me, Walt.
Oh?
I knew it the other day, but that was your prerogative then. You didn't need me.
But that's changed.
That's changed.
You must hold an interesting hand.
I've got the cards.
Such as?
Such as I know that Carmichael was killed by one of your people.
That's very good, Mac. But then you were always good at that sort of thing. How do I know you're not bluffing?
We've withheld information from each other, Walt, but we've never lied to each other.
All right.
I'll make a deal with you. But you have to promise me one thing first. You help me bring in the killer.
You got it.
All right. Let's start with Carmichael.
Well, he came to me with a deal. About on par with your deal, Mac. There he was all of a sudden. Many years dead and buried Carmichael, standing there with that crazy Carl Reese face, telling me he was an enemy agent these days. Been drilling holes in the homeland for the past 6.5 years. But now he wanted out of it. He was through taking sides, and he thought maybe I could help him. Fix him up with $250,000 and some new ID. And in return, he'd give me a piece of information he picked up from one of his new colleagues. The name of the sleeper in my outfit.
Sleeper?
It's exactly the way it hit me.
Well, what did you say to him?
I told him I needed time, and I did. I don't carry that kind of money around in petty cash. I went through Washington. By the time they got back to me, Carmichael was dead.
Will somebody please explain to me what a sleeper is?
An enemy agent planted in an alien country, long before he starts functioning as an agent.
Happens all the time, Sally. A man emigrates to a new country when he's in his 20s, becomes a citizen, gets a government job, works his way up. By the time he's 35 or 40, he has access to valuable information.
Well, that's incredible.
What did Washington decide, by the way?
They approved the deal. You know, Mac, a big chunk of me was rooting for Carmichael. He was a guy caught in the middle, saw a way out. Gotta give him points, Mac. He did see a way out.
Well, he had to see a way out. He was a man that was in love.
But he didn't make it. Somebody killed him. Somebody tried to kill Laura, too, by the way. Well, she's all right. I've got her.
Okay, Mac. It's your turn.
Keystone.
Don't play games with me, Mac.
I'm not.
That's crazy. Where'd you get that?
Looks like Carmichael got to me after all. Let's call it a legacy.
Keystone. I'd have gone along with Santa Claus first. Look, Mac, I'm going to ask you to call off the deal. Let it ride, the whole thing.
I knew you were going to ask that, Walt. I can't do it.
Come on, Mac, come on. Think of what I could do with this situation. I could pull the strings on him.
Sure. He thinks he got away with killing Carmichael and continues to operate as your Keystone. And you just sit back quietly milking out his contacts. But you forgot one thing, Walt. Laura. Keystone thinks she knows too much. He'll keep after her.
Mac, Laura's no problem. We'll wall her up someplace. The East Coast, if you like. I'll pick up the tab.
You can't just shuffle people around like canned goods, Walt. And I can't just write off a murder.
And that's it?
That's it.
All right. I guess I'll have to live with it.
How do we take him?
I'll set something up. Call you.
What's his name?
Cushing.
Cushing?
Yeah, you saw him the other day, but don't let his looks fool you. He's sharp. Not as sharp as my old Keystone, though. I'll bet you didn't know that.
Would you mind taking a taxi home? I have a couple of things I better take care of first.
No, I don't mind. Are you sure you wouldn't like some company?
It's official business. I'll see you later. are you? What do you want?
I'm looking for Moby Dick. Oh, it's a boat!
Really?
Hi. Your official business sure didn't take very long.
My official business turned out to be a wild goose chase.
Don't get yourself comfortable. Walt Harmon called.
Oh,
Your meeting is tonight.
Oh.
Mac, I don't like this Cushing. He's got me worried. I didn't like his face from the start.
No, there won't be any trouble. What time?
9 o'clock at the roller bowl. Now, why would he want to meet you at a roller bowl?
Maybe he likes to skate. Enright? Me. Tell me something. Been roller skating lately?
He's in there now, waiting for me. We've used this place a couple of times for a drop, so he should be pretty tame. I know it's short notice, Mac, but it's better tonight.
Meaning you want to get it over with?
Let's skip the analysis, okay, Mac? I got him here. I'm not going to take him.
I don't want you to. It's my job.
It wasn't you, Mac. But he was somebody to talk to. You know something? He was so stiff, I almost got to like him. I don't like him anymore. He's yours. Watch yourself.
What do you want?
A root beer. How much is it?
Sign's over there.
Well, we'd better put out an APB, sir.
No.
Security again?
Something like that.
You all right?
And I thought you weren't getting involved.
Commissioner, this is the man that saved your life.
Wouldn't be the first time. You better get inside and do some explaining.
Yes, sir.
Okay.
Well, I figured I better come back. He's got this damn sixth sense. Well, I've gone this far, Mac. I'll go the rest of the way. And don't give me any more Boy Scout talk about working together. You don't know where to look. I do. I'll bring him in. But it's got to be my way.
Yes?
Officer Ames, Miss Rainey. Everything all right in there?
Yes, thank you.
Mr. Ames, it must be awfully boring out there. Would you like to come in and play some cards?
Well, I don't know. I shouldn't, really.
It'd be a good way to keep an eye on me.
I guess it is at that.
How do you know anything happened?
I talked to Sergeant Enright. He got away, didn't he?
For the moment.
10 o'clock, and all's well. McMillan residence, Mildred speaking. Yeah, if you'll hold on a minute, I'll see if he's here. We've got a world champion heavy breather on the phone. He wants to talk to you.
Who is it?
I don't know. He didn't breathe his name.
McMillan.
Well, my name's Cushing. I think maybe we better meet and straighten out a couple of things.
Well, I suppose I could. What's the matter with right? Cushing wants me to meet him at the airport at 11 o'clock.
Well, you're not going to go.
It could be a trap.
He just tried to kill you at the roller rink.
Cushing is supposed to be sharp. Now, he wouldn't call me out in the open like that. That's amateur night.
Why else would he call you? What could he be trying to tell you?
Unless he's trying to distract me.
Distract you from what?
Laura.
Well, this is ridiculous. She's got to be there, Mac.
Anybody for a three-handed game of poker? Well, what about a one-handed game of poker, beautiful?
Oh. Oh, Commissioner.
What happened?
Oh, she hit me. Why would she do something like that? I was protecting her.
Laura?
Yes, ma'am.
Go on.
Well, we were playing cards. Oh, you know how it is, Commissioner. I guess she got a little lonely being cooped up in here. Well, anyway, she said she was going to get a cold drink out of the refrigerator. Asked me if I wanted something. I said, no, thanks. And she gets up, goes past me, and bang, that was it. Went out like a light. Well, I'll be.
What?
I just realized something, Commissioner. She hit me with her hand.
Are you sure?
Yes, sir, I'm sure. But I couldn't in this world tell you why.
Well, something must have happened to make her do it. Something you said or did.
Well, I don't know what it could be. We were only playing gin. I'd already lost $1.37.
All right. Let's start from the beginning.
Well, I came on duty at 8. That's when Davenport goes off. About 9 or so, I knocked on the door, checked to see if everything was okay. Well, she must have been kind of lonely. Asked me to play some cards. Well, I didn't see any harm in that, Commissioner. So, we sat down and started to play. We must have been at it for about an hour. Then she gets up and clobbers me, just like that.
Nothing else happened? What did you talk about?
Well, I guess I did most of the talking. I told her about my 2 boys in college. Talked a little bit about being a ham operator. Things like that.
So you just sat there and talked and played cards, and that's it?
Yes, sir. Oh, there was a call. A friend of hers. It didn't last more than a minute.
What did she say? Exactly.
Well, phone rang. Hello? Joanne, I think. Yes, I'm still here. I'm playing cards with this very nice policeman. I'll talk to you tomorrow. Then she hung up. About 5 minutes later, she goes into this karate act.
What time did this call come in? Try to pin it down.
I'd have to say just after 10, Commissioner. A few minutes after 10.
Hello? Oh, hello, Commissioner.
I hope you're not too comfortable.
Not really, sir.
Good, then you don't mind meeting me at the airport in 30 minutes. Are you sure I'm not disturbing you?
Not at all, sir. I'll be right there.
Would you mind telling me what's going on?
I'm not sure yet.
Well, you know more than I do. Why are we going to the airport after all?
We're working on the assumption that Laura is a helpless little pawn in the situation, right?
Well, I'll give you this. She's a lot of things. Helpless she ain't.
What if Laura isn't who she says she is? Then the phone call makes some sense.
It does? Not to me.
Laura got her call a few minutes after 10, is that right?
Yeah.
Mm-hmm. What time did Cushing call me at the apartment?
I don't know.
10 o'clock and all's well.
Mildred! That's when she answered the phone.
And a few minutes after that, Laura gets a call from a friend.
And a few minutes after that, Laura slugs poor Ames over the head and she gets out of there. Why?
Because somebody told her to. Told her that Cushing was going to be at the airport.
What does Laura have to do with Cushing? And besides, how could anybody know what Cushing was telling you over our phone? Unless our phone's been bugged. That doesn't make any sense. It's all crazy.
Not if Laura's the sleeper.
Laura? Laura is an agent?
Laura, or whatever her name is, finds out that Carmichael made a deal with Walt Harmon, the name of the sleeper, in exchange for a new life. That means she has to kill Carmichael to shut him up. Then she establishes herself as Carmichael's girlfriend.
She puts her own picture in Carmichael's apartment.
And the receipt for the leather carryall. The final touch was that fake attempt on her life. That set me up for the safety deposit box.
With Cushing's name on it.
She made Cushing her patsy. The moment I opened that envelope, Walt Harmon and I were on the trail of the wrong sleeper. I think Cushing's onto her. I think that's what he wants to tell me at the airport.
That is a fascinating theory. The only thing is, if Cushing isn't the sleeper, then why did he try to kill you?
Because he thought I was trying to kill him.
Huh. Where does that man with the hat fit in?
I don't know yet. But he's got to be in on it with Laura. I'll bet you he fired that shot into her apartment.
The man with the hat?
And if I'm right, he's also the guy who tapped our phone. And if I'm right, Laura and the man with the hat are on their way to the airport.
If you're wrong?
The action's still at the airport. I want you to stay right here and catch Enright when he comes in. I'll pick him up later.
Where are you gonna go?
Find Cushing.
I'd better go look for him?
I don't know, Sergeant. He said to wait right here.
I know, but I really think I should go look for him. Commissioner? I figured I'd better find out what I'm supposed to be doing.
Three people, Sergeant. Laura Rainey, your friend with the hat, and Cushing. Grab anyone that you can.
Yes, sir.
Laura!
Stay there.
What about the other one, sir?
Keep looking. This gun wasn't fired.
Do you think I killed him? No. Someone else got there first. But I wanted to kill him. More than anything in this world, I wanted to kill him.
All right, then. If it wasn't you, it was your partner. You're under arrest for the murder of Carl Reese.
Carl. You're arresting me for Carl's murder. I loved Carl. That's the man who killed Carl. He was trying to get out of the country. That's what I'm doing here tonight. Carl and I were on opposite sides of the fence. I started out deceiving him, but I ended up loving him.
Nothing. Not a damn thing.
Flight 900 to Geneva, departing at 11:30. Final call, please.
All right, I got a gun. Here's my identification.
Sorry, Commissioner. Why didn't you say so?
Why didn't you ask me?
Sir, may I see your boarding pass?
Why don't you fire, Walt? It's empty, isn't it? You might as well hand it over. Yeah. Might as well. I'm sorry, Walt.
I know that, Mac. Damn, but you're good. I didn't think you'd catch on.
The truth is, I didn't catch on till now. You're the sleeper. I'd never have found you if I hadn't found this. It's brand new, Walt. It couldn't belong to the guy I thought I was chasing.
His name's Tanner. He works for the agency, too. Looks like Washington was onto me, Mac. They sent him out to Bird Dog. And talk about your new stamped-out models. That is one hell of a clumsy boy.
Yeah. He couldn't even figure out where I fit in. He put a tail on me. Carmichael was blackmailing you, wasn't he?
Yeah. He'd found out who I was. He wanted me to provide him with $250,000 and a new identity, or he'd feed me to Washington.
What about Laura? How does she fit in?
Well, she worked in my section back in Washington. And while Carmichael was waiting for me to come up with the money, I played Cupid. Worked like a charm. Carmichael should have known better, but he fell in love. And, of course, I was figuring on knocking him off through Laura. Didn't work that way.
No. She fell in love with him.
Yeah. And when I found that out, I had to come up with a whole new approach. And then you came into the picture. Now I had to move fast, right?
So you made Cushing the sleeper.
Mm-hmm.
And you told Laura he killed Carmichael.
Yeah. She was ready to go after him with her bare hands. I told her we couldn't play it that way. After all, we had a police commissioner to satisfy, and we had to keep a low profile for the agency.
So you had to set the stage.
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
You fired that shot into Laura's apartment, didn't you? You had Laura hand over the safety deposit key. All roads leading to Cushing. And I was supposed to kill him at the roller bowl, wasn't I?
Who would have put an end to it, Mac? And if I hadn't missed him, you know something, Mac? I'm getting old.
No. You wouldn't have fired with all those people in the way, so he escaped. Now you had to come up with another twist.
I didn't have any more twists until he called you. Because by this time, he didn't trust me. He never saw who shot him at the roller bowl, but he was beginning to get a whiff. And after all, I sent him there, right?
He knew somebody was after him. He thought it was you. So he had to get somewhere safe. But first he had to call me. What he didn't know was that you had my phone tapped. And when you found out he was going to be at the airport, he called Laura. Told her that her lover's murderer was escaping.
Yeah, but she lost him. I had to do it myself. It almost worked. It was a little improvised, but it almost worked. You see, I didn't count on you to figure that tap. I was smart, Mac. Then you took it one step further. You figured somebody'd be using Cushing's ticket and passport. Smart.
I had expert training.
I'm tired, Mac. Tired of playing games. Comes a time when you just get tired. Well, at least I finished it right, eh? First class.
Yeah, you always go first class.
Don't worry about it, Mac. I'm just as graceless as poor old Carmichael was when he got caught. I threw the cyanide away months ago. You know how tired I really am, Mac? I couldn't even kill you.
Commissioner, I got him. I got him, sir.
Let him go.
But, sir...
He's with the government.
I tried to tell you that. As for you, Commissioner McMillan, I think I better warn you right now that my particular organization is more than a little interested in your activities.
Thanks for the warning.
Mac?
Hmm?
You know, I've been thinking. Walt Harmon was an enemy agent, but he was a good friend, too. You know, people don't think of spies as human beings, but they are. I guess it's just a weakness that they can't help.
Or a strength.
I always thought of it as such a glamorous world. But Walt was right, it's not. You made the right decision.
What's that?
Getting out of the agency. Being a spy is dirty, dangerous business. I'm just glad you went into police work instead.
I feel I'm closer to finding him than at any other time. His disguise is clever. Very clever. But somehow, in the back of my mind, the clues are coming together. I'll find him. I'm sure of it.
Yes.
Call for you on 613, Commissioner.
Thank you. Hello?
We tried red, yellow, and green, buddy. Don't we have any colors you like?
Sorry, Commissioner. Don't apologize, officer. I deserved it.
All day, all night, Marianne, down by the seaside, sifting sand. Even little children love Marianne, down by the seashore, sifting sand. Hi, I found the sheet music on the organ. I thought you wanted me to learn it, and I aimed to please. You didn't put the sheet music on the organ.
No, I didn't. And I've been hearing this song all day. Accordionists, ice cream vendors. Now I come home and find it on the organ.
What is it? Some sort of a message? A warning? Why are you laughing?
Marion!
Who's she?
George Marion. I trained with him in intelligence. We served overseas together. You get it? Marion, Marianne.
Oh,
Da,
I get it.
da, 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 down by the seaside, sifting sand. Is there a Sands Hotel by the seaside anywhere?
The Sands Inn in North Beach. How quickly one forgets.
Oh, yeah, that $5 extra for the waterbed.
Mr. Romance strikes again. Mac, why doesn't George Marion just call you on the telephone when he comes into town?
It's not his style. Any game, prank, gimmick, that's what got him into intelligence in the first place. If it was your birthday, he couldn't just say happy birthday. No, he had to send you to a Chinese restaurant. You got your message in a fortune cookie. George Marion, please. You don't?
Try Smith. They stay there all the time.
This is Commissioner McMillan. Do you have a message for me? All right, thank you. He's registered as Maroney. That's an anagram of Marion. The message was, be there when the band starts playing. I want to be there when the band starts playing.
Better be ready at half-past 8. All right, now the one on the left is George Marion. Tell me about the others.
Okay. Next to him is Mark Erickson. He was our unit commander. Still in the organization. And this dashing gentleman is young Stuart McMillan, who later became a distinguished public servant. The man with his hand on my shoulder is Miles Eisner, killed on a mission.
Oh, that's terrible. I bet you were all very close, weren't
Yep, we were. Time to go.
you? You know, I'm looking forward to meeting George Marion.
Good.
You can tell me about that woman in the photograph.
Woman.
You know, the one in the center with your arm around her.
Oh, come on, Sally. You know how those things are.
Yes, I was hoping maybe not in this case.
That woman is Elena Standish. She was a real professional.
Professional what?
Spy, of course.
Maybe you've forgotten the secret knock.
No.
George? Mac.
Is he Mac?
Call headquarters.
Nobody saw or heard anything, sir. Everything was in its proper place. Except the blind from the window. It was pulled out of the window and, oh yes, there was a pen found on the floor near the night table.
Dry.
How'd you know?
You don't throw a pen on the floor if it works. What was the cause of death? Poison?
Yes, sir. The medical examiner thinks it was cyanide.
Uh-huh.
You may have noticed the bitter almond smell.
Yeah.
The time of death was about 7:30, around an hour and a half before you got here. And, he thinks, he's going to run some tests. Also tests on some allergy capsules that were found on the floor nearby. And there was some sort of funny stuff on his shoes, like he'd been walking in sawdust. They'll run tests on that, too, of course.
Good. As soon as you can.
Yes, sir.
Mac, the man on the balcony, the one with the mustache.
Go ahead and say it. You mean the one who clobbered me?
If George Tamarian was dead 1 hour before we got there, then why would the man be on the balcony? A killer just doesn't hang around like that.
He might. On the other hand, who said he was the killer?
Oh, no, you're not back already.
Mildred, where are you going?
Oh, I want you to find my message and figure it out for yourself.
What message? Where?
Look in the organ.
On the organ.
Yeah.
Okay. Oh, dry bones.
Got it?
No.
Them bones, them dry bones, them bones, them dry bones. Got it now?
No.
I get it. Mildred's gonna try again, right?
Right.
Try what again?
I'm going on the wagon, Commissioner. That's why I'm going to my sister's house. You always say I'm so huffy when I try and dry out around here.
Dry bones. Dry bones. I get it.
Oh, wonderful. Did anybody ever tell you you're kind of slow at deciphering messages?
I'll work on it. Meanwhile, good luck. I hope you make it all the way this time.
All the way is the only way I go, Commissioner.
May I help you with your luggage?
Not for a moment. Thank you so much.
Tina.
Hello? Hi, Sergeant. Yeah, just saying he's here. Sergeant Enright.
Yeah. Commissioner, it's Enright. We found a false bottom on the dead man's valise. I think you'd better come over here and have a look at it.
I'll be right there.
Right.
I feel I'm closer to finding him than at any other time. His disguise is clever. Very clever. But somehow, in the back of my mind, the clues are coming together. I'll find him. I'm sure of it.
I don't get it, sir. Find who?
I don't know.
Well, it's strange that he didn't name the man, isn't it?
Before or after he was poisoned?
Well, when he made the report. I wasn't even thinking about after.
When he made the report, he assumed his superior would know who he was talking about. But after he was poisoned, why didn't he name the man?
Well, look. The briefcase containing the message was locked in the closet. Now, he knew that he didn't have time to unlock the closet, take out the briefcase.
So he went for a pen, which was closest.
Yeah, but that pen was dry.
Right. But he died in a chair at that end of the room, and the closet was at that end of the room.
Well, what difference does that make?
Well, if he went for a chair instead of a closet, he was trying to tell me something.
How come you're not talking, Mac? You're always talking and brushing my teeth. Thinking, huh? What are you thinking about?
Huh? Oh. Suppose when George Marion grabbed that blind, he was sending me a message. Look, he's alone. He feels the cyanide, knows he's been poisoned, knows I'm on my way.
Well, he could write it down.
Maybe he did. Maybe he grabbed a pen, didn't work. Then with his dying breath, he pulls down that vine.
But what does that mean, a Venetian blind? Man, could a blind man have done it? You said that accordionist was blind.
Of course. A Venetian blind.
A Venetian blind?
Venice.
Venice, Italy. Venice, California.
No. A man's name. Marion was naming his murderer. Venice. Venice.
It's Venice! Come, Miles! Stay on, Mac!
Venice.
We've been betrayed. Sold to the highest bidder by Venice. Venice.
He couldn't have. He wouldn't have.
Couldn't be anyone else. You saw him at the staging area.
You saw him, Lena. I can't believe it.
I won't believe it.
Venice.
It's all right, Mac. Well, it's not really all right. I mean, you were shouting Elena.
I gotta find her.
It must have been some dream.
I was dreaming about a man named Miles Eisner. He was killed, betrayed by Venice. So were so many others. Elena Stanish had worked with him. She's the only one who could identify him. Don't you see? Venice isn't dead. Not if he killed George Marion. Marion found him. So Venice killed George Marion. And Elena isn't safe as long as Venice is alive. She's in real danger.
Would you mind calling her Standish?
She's got to be warned. If I can find her.
No, there is no Elena Standish. There never has been an Elena Standish in intelligence.
But she does exist.
I'm sorry, Commissioner.
Well, when will the chief of personnel be in?
He'll be in about an hour.
You told me that an hour ago.
Well, he'll be here in an hour.
All right. When he comes in, will you have him call me, please? Thank you, Colonel. And if you ever come to San Francisco, watch out where you park your car.
I'm sorry, sir. Nothing. I've checked with every known intelligence unit, and according to them, former agent Elena Standish never even existed.
Well, we'll just have to find her ourselves. She's beautiful, brunette, and foreign-born.
That's not much to go on. Oh, I've had blow-ups made of that old picture of her, but...
Good. I'll give you some more. She loves mountains, she loves big dogs, she loves to paint, and I suspect she lives alone. Check with the police in all mountainous areas, places like Boulder, Colorado Springs, places like that, Aspen. Find out if anybody fitting that general description moved in the last few years.
When?
Tomorrow.
But, sir...
Late today would be better. What have you found out about the poison?
Well, it was cyanide, all right. Sir, he was an intelligence agent. Don't they sometimes...
Rarely. And only behind enemy lines. Not on a Wednesday in a motel in North Beach.
Well, so far, the allergy capsules are clean, sir.
Well, they could all be clean. Except one, if he took one, couldn't they?
But how would the killer know which pill he...
Well, as long as it's question time, where was Marion yesterday? How did he spend his time in San Francisco? And where did he come from?
Sir, we're working on it.
And also, are we sure that stuff on his shoes was sawdust?
Well, sir...
I know. We're working on it.
Hello? Hi, Sally.
Oh, hi, Mildred. How are you doing?
Oh, I'm fine. But there's something about this time of day, and I just got to missing the two of you.
Oh, that's really sweet. We miss you, too.
Yeah, I could just see the two of you sitting there having a little drinky before dinner.
Well, actually, we were just about to have dinner.
At home? Just the two of you? What'd you fix?
No, Mac's taking me out to dinner. I've got to hurry, Mildred, because he wants me to meet him at the Sands Inn first.
The Sands Inn? Why don't you just go upstairs? It's a lot closer, and you can use your real names up there.
Thank you, Mildred. Keep in touch.
It is just like I told that other fellow. That was the sergeant. He registered as Gregory Moroni. Paid his rent every day in advance. No phone calls, no visitors. That we know of, but we don't check much.
I know. It's part of the casual charm of this place. Did he have any identification as Moroni?
I never checked. Well, he said he was from out of town.
And that settled it?
That and paying cash up front.
Thank you. You've been very frank.
Stewie? Hey, Stewie.
I really don't think we've met.
What? Oh, I get it. Don't worry. If you got lucky, I'm not gonna spoil it for you. I'm Rita.
I'm Sally.
My wife.
Gee, and I was always your sister. Well, hon, whatever you are, take good care of it. They don't make them like Stewie no more.
That's good to hear. Do I detect a note of puzzlement, Stewie, old pal?
I really don't think we've met. Hey.
My wallet. Wait for me in the car.
Your table's waiting, Commissioner. This way, sir.
Sit down, Mac. Rita
we'll both have coffee.
Mark Erickson. Mark Erickson. Well, you could have just telephoned. You didn't have to send an agent to lift my wallet.
Discretion. Better part of valor, as you recall. Mac, I'm speaking for the entire intelligence community. Stop stirring up flack about Elena Standish.
She's got to be warned. She's been out of it for years. Venice will find her.
Venice is dead.
You know better than that. Venice killed George Marion.
Who told you that?
George Marion.
Before he died?
No, after.
You gonna tell me how he did that? No, you're not. All right, Venice is alive. Marion told me 2 months ago.
Well, how?
Now, don't ask me any questions. We'll operate strictly on a need-to-know basis. Marion was on Middle East assignment. He took a side trip to Wadi Al-Faz, a little village just off the Gulf, near Aden. Mean anything to you?
Isn't that where Venice is supposed to be buried?
Marion discovered the grave was a clever fake. He decided that Venice was alive and in the United States. And he wanted him for his very own. He didn't like people who killed his friends.
Neither do I.
So Marion went on detached service to find Venice.
And he found it.
That's it, Mac. Stay out of it.
That's not quite it. Elena Standish.
A, she can take care of herself. B, we take care of her anyway.
Elena doesn't know.
C, she does know. Marion went to her as soon as I gave him his hunting license. Where else could he go for leads?
That's my point exactly. That's where Venice will go next.
We'll handle Venice. You don't think we can do it, do you?
You're not going to get the chance. You're forgetting something. I'm police commissioner of San Francisco. Apart from the fact that George Marion was one of my closest friends, I cannot let anyone handle a murder that took place in San Francisco.
You don't have any choice.
I'm going to give you one, though. Either you give me Elena's address, or you go before a grand jury and tell them everything you know about the death of George Marion.
Well, I can't do that, can I? Blow the cover on the whole operation. The plane ride to New Mexico is not so bad. It's the car ride after that's tough on the kidneys.
Are you really sure that this is a road?
It says so on the map.
What does the map say now?
The map says here's a creek. We'll have to walk from here. Ha. You okay?
Uh-huh. I was a Girl Scout, you know.
You were.
Do you suppose she's gonna believe that we just happened to drop by? Oh. Just a nice walk in the country.
You could have stayed home.
Oh, sure it was. You come to visit Matahari.
It's a business call.
Oh, let's just say my mother didn't raise any foolish children. Besides, you asked me to come with you, remember?
Of course I remember. You said, do you think I should go with you to see Elena Standish? And I said, do you want to go with me to see Elena Standish? And you said...
I'd love to go with you. How sweet of you to ask.
You're right. Your mother didn't raise any foolish children.
Suddenly, I'm not so sure.
Don't move. Here, boy. Here. They gotta be trained in some language. Try your French.
Viens ici, mes petits chiens. Nous sommes des amis.
How's your Italian? Don't move a muscle. If they go for me, maybe dice for the house.
Help! Somebody, please help! Is anybody in there? Please!
Spot! Fido! Fanta! Santile! Suissa! Suissa! Stewart McMillan.
Well, I live very simply, but I have everything I need. I have the mountains, time to paint, plenty of solitude. And I have my dogs. They're killers, of course. Trained to Chinese. With names like Spot and Fido, most people try English.
Elena, I'm afraid this is not entirely a social call.
I know that. Otherwise, Mark Erickson would never have told you where to find me.
It's about George Marion. He's dead.
Was it Venice?
Murdered.
Then it was Venice. So many missions betrayed. So many good men. And now Marion. What do you want of me?
What was your conversation with George Marion?
Well, he showed up here one morning and we talked late into the night. Just knowing that Venice was alive seemed to energize him, gave him a mission in life. But he wanted everything, everything I could remember about Venice. Well, I told it all before, Mac. I mean, you know that.
There must have been something.
He wanted a way to identify him. How does one identify a master of disguise who is medium weight, medium height, medium coloring, and with no distinguishing scars, whom one hasn't seen for several years? Russian, British, Arab, young, old, rich, poor. He played all the parts. So, I did these for Marion, ways I had seen Venice, as well as I could remember. This was how he looked when the power station was blown in Nicosia. He escaped to England like this in 1962. But what's the use? He never wore the same disguise twice.
All right, maybe it wasn't the way he looked, but perhaps it was the way he walked, what he ate, something in his lifestyle, where he'd be. You know, you put him on some track.
Lifestyle. It would have to be that. I told George about the last time Venice and I were together. It was in the Café Ben in Mersa Matruh, a place that was reasonably safe for both of us. He'd called me there to say goodbye. For the last time, he said. He was quitting, getting out while he still could. He seemed in good spirits, and it was the first time I'd ever heard him talk about his childhood. His parents were performers in a traveling circus in Middle Europe, like a carnival in America, I suppose. And by the time he was 15, he could walk wires, he could serve as a catcher for a trampoline act, he could juggle, and he still had a soft spot in his heart for that life. So it struck me that if you wanted to disappear, the traveling show where no one asks your name and everyone minds his business. 2 months later, we heard he was dead, buried at Wadi El Fas.
Mac, George Marion's shoes.
Yes, they had sawdust on them. It suggests that he visited a carnival.
That he'd seen Venice.
But without knowing it. He couldn't recognize Venice, but Venice did recognize George Marion.
And the irony is that Venice admired Marion's work. He often spoke of how brilliant he was. Of course, he recognized you as being the best.
Let's assume for the moment that we've narrowed Venice down to San Francisco. Now, what we need is positive identification. I don't suppose I could ask you to...
Go ahead, ask me.
All right. Would you?
No.
Huh.
I'm out of it now, Mac. I'm an ex-spy. And you know what they say about ex-spies and ex-lion tamers. They never come out of retirement.
Think about it, Elena.
I have thought about it, Mac. And you see, you are still emotionally involved. I'm not. Anymore.
You should be. Because if we don't get Venice, he's bound to get you. Goodbye, Elena.
Goodbye, Mac.
Well, what do you think?
I think your Elena was in love with Venice.
She's not my Elena. And what makes you think that?
Just a feeling I get.
Mm-hmm.
The way she said his name. So personal. You know the last time they met when he told her he was going to quit and disappear?
Mm-hmm.
I think that was just his way of telling her that their affair was over. Part of her wants to help find him. Part of her wants to help him hide, Mac.
Prussic acid or a hydrocyanic acid, both terms being interchangeable, and I might add deadly, regardless which word you use. Now, this poison may be easily obtained because it, detective fiction to the contrary, is almost impossible to administer.
Are you saying that Marion...
Because of the pronounced odor and taste of almonds, bitter almonds, makes it easily detectable, comes often to the attention of the police as a result of suicides. Now, on the other hand, arsenic or arsenate of lead may be easily administered only because of...
Sykes!
Sir.
Yes or no? Was Marion poisoned?
Yes, but...
Prussic acid?
Yes, but... if your friend was murdered, sir, now how? How was this poison administered?
It had to be the allergy capsules.
We tested 47 so far. They all had what they were supposed to have in them.
What about the sawdust?
The substance on the deceased shoes?
Yes. It was sawdust.
The commissioner doesn't miss a trick. Very good. But this was not ordinary sawdust, no. It was treated with flame retardant.
Of course. You can't use ordinary sawdust on the floor of a public place.
Exactly. And so treated, you would find it in butcher shops and fish or poultry market, wineries, cheap restaurants.
But this came from a carnival.
Carnival. Commissioner, that's a very good thing. Carnival, I know.
You know the name of it, don't you?
Sure do. Carnivals need permits. So I checked Fairfax, San Francisco, and Marin counties. There's only one. It's called the Bel Habib Carnival, and it's been playing about 3 months out at Crescent Beach.
How about a picture of yourself? Smile. That's it. Terrific. Gentlemen. Smile. Good. If you present this card inside the main tent, you can have a free picture of yourself.
Thank you.
Have a nice day.
Free? I don't see how they do it.
Well, $1.50 a piece to get in the main tent. That's $3 for a snapshot of you and me. I'll take this way.
Ladies and gentlemen, may I have your attention, please? May I direct your attention to the uppermost part of the midway? See Kovacs, the human fly, defy the laws of gravity with his daring acrobatic stunts. There he is, ladies and gentlemen, Kovacs, the human fly. one of the world's renowned aerobatic artists. Ladies and gentlemen, there he is.
Come on, step right up. 3 shots, half $1. 3 shots for half. Come on, step right up. Lady, over here, come on.
Excuse me. You ever seen this man?
3 shots for half. I only talk to paying customers.
Oh. I should warn you, I'm a pretty good shot.
Terrific.
I'm sorry, Commissioner. That's all I know.
Thank you.
Commissioner McMillan? Commissioner McMillan?
Yes?
I thought so. I recognize you by the picture my daughter Ruth took. I'm Clemente Habib, impresario of this enterprise. You see, in this business, we have to expect visits from the police, and so one trains oneself to recognize them. What can I do for you?
Thank you, but even the commissioner of police can spend an afternoon at a carnival without having an official reason.
Oh, please forgive me. Then the gentleman in the picture with you is not a plainclothesman. Come with me, please.
He was, a couple of days back.
Did you talk to him? Okay.
I ask no questions of those who work for me. I demand only that they do not drink on the job and that they stay out of trouble. I harbor no criminals. I harbor no one.
He talked to me. Yeah, he was a good shot, too.
Well, my apologies. And you see, I assumed that your visit was connected with that of the other man.
Other man?
But since it is not...
I didn't say that. I am interested in how you knew somebody might be hiding here.
Well, now you know.
The other man?
Yes. His name was what? George Marion.
George Marion's dead. Murdered. Which I'm investigating. I'd like your cooperation.
You?
When was he here?
Several days ago.
He was here twice.
Did you take his picture?
Yes, I probably still have it. Should I get it?
Later. What did he want?
Information. You know, the people with the show, how long they've been here, where they worked before. I'm afraid I wasn't very helpful, you see. Our personnel department is, well, rather informal.
Meaning you hire off the street?
Exactly. I gave him a list of the people, indicated those who had been with us many years. I think he talked with everyone. Ruth here, she accompanied him on most of the interviews.
Yes, he seemed most interested in the people that joined us recently, and he took notes. I'm sure he checked.
Did he take any pills?
Wait, he did when he was interviewing Aldo.
Who is Aldo?
The knife thrower.
I'd like to talk to him.
I'm sure that could be arranged, considering that he's been listening to every word we've said to each other. Isn't that right, Aldo?
Ah, did you call me maestro?
Yes, Commissioner McMillan would like to ask you a few questions.
Please, anything.
When George Marion questioned you the other day, did he take any pills?
2. It was awful. All of a sudden, he starts wheezing and sneezing. I thought he was going to die on the spot. Allergic to fur, he tells me, and here I am breaking in my new act. Aldo the Aborigine. Some guys got no luck, Commissioner.
Did the pills help?
Yeah, come to think of it, I think they did. Of course, he was still wheezing when he left, but he was alive.
Thank you very much.
Anytime, Commissioner.
Step right this way, ladies and gentlemen. See the wonders of the universe. See Bertha, the bearded lady. Marvin Ledoux, the man with 2 noses. See the human fly defy the laws of gravity with his spectacular acrobatic feats. See Sammy Lee, the seal boy. Neither man nor beast, he walks, he talks, he crawls on his belly like a reptile. Hurry, hurry, hurry! See Gilbert the Great astound you with amazing defeats of legerdemain. See Mongo the strange
Yes, the man on the balcony after Marion got killed.
Well, I'll put out a bulletin on it.
Brawny, bald man with a mustache. We can hold our line up at Candlestick Park. We need a picture.
Yes, sir. Hey, how about Habib's daughter?
Yes, odds are she has a photo, Mr. Musgrave.
Yes, sir. Now, listen, there are two things. Yeah. You should talk to a Father Reagan at St. Barnaby's Church. It's right across the street from the main entrance. It seems that he's sort of the unofficial chaplain for this outfit.
And the other thing?
Can I lock this in the trunk of your car?
I'll help any way I can. But as to the background of the people in the carnival, I've only been here 3 months myself. I was abroad before that, a series of missions, Far East mostly. But I did talk to your friend, Mr. Marion. He struck me as an unhappy man, driven, obsessed. He was killed, you say?
Yes, 3 days ago.
Oh, yes, the man in the hotel. I read about it, but I didn't think... When did he die?
Early evening, about 7:30.
7:30, I may have been the last person he talked to. It was nearly 7 when he left here. I suppose that puts me down as a... What's the term? A possible?
What did you talk about?
Well, he told me everything that you've told me about his search for the missing man, and he gave me some biographical detail on some of the people in the carnival, asked if I could confirm it.
Did you?
Well, as far as I knew, it was accurate.
Did he take any pills while he was with you?
Oh, my, yes. He was wheezing, eyes running. He didn't have to tell me he was allergic. And he was poisoned. Could it have been the pills?
We're looking for a special needle in an untidy haystack. We need somebody who's seen Venice.
You need me because I've seen him. I know that, Mac, but...
I'd arrange it so you'd be protected. He wouldn't have to see you. Well, nothing is perfect, Elena. You're not perfectly safe right now.
I'm a good deal safer than I would be doing another job. And that's what you're talking about, isn't it? A job. A safe one? What we used to call a piece of cake?
You're right, Elena. It's too risky. In all honesty, when it was over, when we had him in custody, he'd know who did it anyway.
What are you saying?
I'm saying I did an unfair thing in asking you. We'll find him, somehow. And when it's over, I'll call you and let you know what he's been doing, where he's been living, and with whom.
You're sure I would be safe?
You'll be safe. Well, not perfectly safe. Sergeant Enright will be there to meet you in the morning and escort you back. Goodbye, Elena.
She's coming here. How did you manage that?
You were right. She did have an affair with Venice. He ended it. A woman and a faithless lover. 2 emotions to work on, and I used both.
Jealousy, and what was the other one?
Curiosity.
C-U-R... Curiosity, it fits. Aren't you supposed to be calling Sergeant Enright? Coffee, sir. Would you like more coffee?
You know, Miss Standish, I sure would have liked to have known the commissioner in those days. I mean, I bet he was really something.
There's some information, Sergeant, that never gets declassified.
Yeah, I guess not. But I sure would have liked to have known him in those days. Not that it isn't a privilege to know him now, but I sure would have liked to have known him. Excuse me, do you mind if I try to catch 30, 40 winks before we land?
No, please do. I'm a little tired myself.
Sir, you'll have to deplane now.
Oh. Where's the lady who was seated next to me?
Give
Everybody else deplaned 10 minutes ago.
Oh, that's impossible. How could I have... Coffee? Who served me coffee?
I must have. Why?
No, I didn't see the face, but her fingers were longer and she had dark nail polish.
I'm sure you're mistaken.
Of course you're not mistaken. The question is, where have they taken her?
They? Venice or Erickson?
Erickson. If it was Venice, she'd be dead. Where's the boss, Rita?
Boss? I'm the boss. My name's Betty Jane Morrison. You want to see some ID?
Commissioner McMillan's office.
Sergeant Enright, I want you to send a detail over to the Panama Club in North Beach. I want this place padlocked.
What?
The liquor license does not reveal the name of the true owner.
Commissioner, is this you?
And call the press room. Send some people over. I got a big story for them.
Forget it, Mike.
Forget it, Emily. Where is she, Mark?
She's one of ours, Mac. We're responsible for her security.
You
as
want
a
me
matter
to
of
arrest
law.
you?
On what?
Obstructing a criminal investigation. No, you don't want me to arrest you, so you're going to tell me where she is.
Let's talk a deal.
No deal. I want full cooperation between your people and my police department.
Well, that's a deal, isn't it? Okay, the Regency. When do you want to see her?
In about an hour.
All right, I'll be there to let you in. Now, look, I'm still in charge of security, or all bets are off.
I rushed these photos over from the lab as soon as possible, sir. They're pictures that Ruth Habib took at the carnival.
Thank you.
I'm truly sorry about losing Miss Standish on that airplane, sir.
Charlie, I allowed the excuse of drugged coffee on an airplane. Just once.
Thank you. Here's George Marion, sir.
Couldn't be anyone else. You saw him at the staging area.
Right.
Mr. Mustache? Do you know him?
Yes.
Who is he?
I don't know. I'm gonna meet Elena. Run a check on this photo.
Right.
Mrs. McMillan, I have 3 weapons, and I can kill you in less than a second without using any one of them. Now, I'm going to let you go. Don't scream. Where is he?
My husband? Well, he's at the office, I guess.
He's gone out. Where? Come on, he's wherever they're holding Elena Standish, isn't that right?
Well, I don't know. I mean, I suppose he didn't tell me where that was. He doesn't tell me his business problems. I guess he thinks I'm not interested, isn't it? Just like a man.
You're telling the truth, aren't you?
Well, I mean, I am interested in his business.
I mean, you really don't know where he is. But you will soon. I'll bet he calls you every afternoon. It'd be crazy not to. I'll wait.
Isn't this a rather unusual place to hide somebody?
Well, the police schools recommend the out-of-the-way flea bag, but that's baloney. Give me a class place every time. A hitman sticks out like a midget at a football banquet. I've got her in a corner room. I've got a man walking the hall. That's 2 walls to the outside, 1 to the hallway, and 1 to the room next door.
Yours?
Of course.
Well, it's only fair to warn you. My housekeeper has a violent temper, and there's no telling what she'll do when she comes in and finds you here.
Your housekeeper's on vacation this week.
Yes, that's right. She's at her sister's. She always goes to her sister's when she's on the wagon. You see, her sister doesn't allow a drop of liquor in the house. That's the danger. That's what I'm trying to warn you about. There's no one more violent than Mildred when she's on the wagon. I suppose that doesn't scare you very much.
It's an animal wagon. Identical to the real thing as far as size, shape, floor drain, and even the smell. We cleared it with Habib, had it repainted to match his equipment. Nobody will give it a second glance. Now, there is one modification. With this window, you'll be able to see everybody through it, but nobody will be able to see you. It's a window from the inside and a mirror from the outside. And it's even bulletproof.
I don't know, Mac. Venice is a genius at disguise, and I haven't seen him for years.
You may not be able to recognize him, but still you might be able to help by simple process of elimination.
I suppose since Mark went to so much trouble to kidnap me, we're going to have to make it count for something, huh?
Would you like a drink? A glass of water? A sandwich? How about a game of 20 questions?
How about a little quiet?
Right. A little quiet.
It's a good plan, Mac. You should never have left the organization.
But?
Yeah, but. Has it occurred to you that we might be looking for somebody who doesn't exist? Suppose Venice is dead.
Then who killed Marion?
Maybe. Just maybe. Marion killed Marion. All right? So Venice isn't buried where he's supposed to be. Well, there have been phony graves before, but that doesn't prove that somebody's alive. But Marion wanted the satisfaction of taking Venice. Now, when he found out there was no Venice...
No.
Prussic acid is a suicide's weapon.
What about the man on the balcony?
Ordinary sneak thief. He came in, saw the body, ducked out when you came in.
Then why the message with the Venetian blind? He was trying to tell us it was Venice.
Mac is right, Mark. When Marion spoke to me, he was not despondent or unhappy or in despair. He was just certain.
Sure. But when his certainty went wrong, then for him, everything was wrong.
Mark, the Venetian blind.
I've been thinking about that. Now, you know that Marion was always a joker, always a life of the party. But maybe he wasn't playing with a full deck. Now, if he killed himself because he found out that he was wrong, it'd be just like him to go out with a joke that'd convince us he was right, just to keep us puzzling for years.
I say we go on looking till we know, one way or the other.
Okay, when do we go snooping?
I think it should just be Elaine and me.
Just like old times.
And Sergeant Enright. He'll ride shotgun.
Mac, I can't give up my responsibility.
You're responsible here. I'll be responsible there. Let's not scare Venice off with a platoon of agents.
All right.
I'll pick you up at 6. Thought I'd get us to the carnival about 7. Doesn't give us much time. May I use your phone?
Be my guest.
Wait.
Hello?
Hi, honey.
Oh, Mac, I'm so glad you called. You didn't forget about Mildred's graduation tonight, did you?
Huh?
From her cooking class. Tomato and olive aspic.
Well, I don't think so. I'm with...
Oh, Mac, Mildred will be heartbroken.
I'm with...
Well, you'll just have to do the best you can.
Okay. There's an outside chance.
Good.
Well?
Well, what?
Well, I'm no mind reader. Where is it?
Oh. It's at the Epicure Club.
Oh, terrific. I'm at the Regency right across the street. I'll be right with you. I gotta go. Goodbye.
I love you too, darling. Goodbye. That wasn't fair. He only told me where he was because I happened to mention the name of that place across the street.
Mindy. I mean,
hurry, and I don't want to hurt you.
Yeah, you have been very considerate. I will admit, I don't want to put you in any extra trouble.
Father Regan?
Commissioner, what a pleasant surprise.
Is it?
Is it what?
Either one, pleasant or a surprise. What are you doing here?
Well, I don't know that I'm required to account for.
Not required, Father, but it would help.
I've been with the banquet manager, Mr. Kelso, about a benefit dinner for St. Barnaby's. The carnival people have generously offered to furnish the entertainment.
How long has this been planned?
Oh, all very last minute. I'm not the best organized man in the world. By the way, how's your investigation? Do you still believe your friend Mr. Marion was murdered?
Do you believe otherwise?
Well, it occurred to me that perhaps Mr. Marion found the man he was looking for.
And didn't turn him in?
Is it possible that he found his man and killed him?
It's possible. And then what?
The joys of vengeance are almost solely those of anticipation. Afterwards?
Suicide? Father, no offense, but I've had a law enforcement man tell me Marion may have killed himself because he didn't find Venice. Now you're trying to tell me that he killed himself because he did find him. Now, I'm not looking for a suicide motive. I'm looking for a murderer.
Hello, operator. Please dial the Regency Hotel for me.
The what?
The Regency Hotel.
That number can be reached by direct dialing.
Yes, I know, but I can't dial and tie up.
We're all very busy. But if you wish me to dial for you, very well.
Thank you.
What is the number, madam?
I don't know the number.
The number can be obtained from your telephone directory.
Yes, I know, but I can't reach my telephone directory.
If you are in need of additional directories, your
Operator, will you give me information?
furnish you. Directory assistance, dial 411.
I can't dial 411. I can't dial anything. You will have to dial.
Do I understand, madam, that you wish me to dial 411 for you?
Operator!
Mrs. McMillan! Must be seeing things. You know, I thought I was sober.
Call the Regency Hotel.
What?
Call the Regency Hotel.
First, I'm going to call the police.
No, call the Regency Hotel. Mac is there with Elena Standish.
You're right. This is no matter for the police. We'll handle this in our own way.
Yes, Father Regan's function. The citrid segments, top sirloin of beef.
How long has this been planned?
It started just this morning. Frankly, I'm against it. The thought of all those carnival types dribbling sawdust through our lobby. They never learn to
Hey,
like their
that's
shoe.
for me.
If you don't mind, the house phone's over there. I'm expecting a phone call from a wedding party. Chicken Veronique, risole potatoes, peas au gratin, and chocolate chip ice cream. Chocolate chip.
Hi, Sally. Of course I knew it was you. What?
Mac, it's Selena. She's been stabbed.
I'll call you right back. You're sure you're all right? Okay. She alive?
It's a nasty wound, half-inch deep, I say.
I told you I was going on the wagon. When I come home and find you like this, I wonder if it's worth it. Boy, I could use a drink.
No, Mildred, you've gone 4 straight days without a drink, haven't you?
I've been at my sister's 4 straight days, haven't I? And straight is the word, believe me.
4 days. That must be some sort of a record for you. I thought you said you were going to be gone all week. How come you came back? Couldn't you take it?
Oh, listen, I had to get out of there. It wasn't the drinking. I was doing fine. But I couldn't listen to my sister sober. You know, it's funny. When I was drinking, I always thought she was so amusing. She sounded just like me.
She didn't sound like you this time?
No, that was the depressing part. She still sounded exactly like me. Only nothing she said was funny.
Lucky. I just missed the rib cage, the lungs. An inch to either side, a little deeper. You understand, a wound of this sort, I must report.
You just did. I'm Commissioner McMillan.
Of course. Look, she's quite all right, but I'd recommend against any strenuous activity.
We'll take good care of her. And, Doctor, I'd appreciate it if you didn't report this to anyone else.
Yeah, no, wait. Bye.
Elena?
How do you feel?
Weak, but lucky.
How did it happen?
Well, I was next door, and she was dressing, and I heard a thud and a moan. When I got in here, she was on the floor, next to the window on her side. That was in her back. Now, you may want your guys to check prints on that.
Yeah.
She said that while she was dressing, she saw something.
Let me.
No, you're supposed to.
No, I can tell you. While I was dressing, something flew past the window and dropped, like a body, or as though someone had jumped or fallen from above. So I did what anybody would do. Any fool. I went to the window and I looked out. Now, I must have heard that knife coming, because I remember turning, and then I think I passed out.
We got her on the bed, and then I called the doctor. Then I had the sidewalk checked below. Nothing. Now, if something like a hotel pillow was thrown from up above, a passerby must have walked off with it.
What about the rooms above?
Well, the room directly above is occupied by a salesman from Cleveland, but he appears clean. He was out.
And further up?
There is another floor, but it was vacant. There doesn't seem to have been anybody in there.
But it must have come from one of those rooms.
Well, it doesn't prove that someone didn't go in, does it?
Well, the guy that planned this is not going to leave any souvenirs.
That's what I mean.
The carnival.
No, we can take care of that in a day or two.
No, tonight. Don't you see? He doesn't know whether he's killed me or not. That gives us the advantage. Mark, may I have a moment alone with Mac? Sit down, Mac. Sally told you, didn't she?
What?
That Venice and I... that there had once been something between us.
Oh, and how could she know a thing like that?
I could tell by the way she looked at me. She's a woman, Mac. Women sense these things. And I'm a woman, too, and I know that she knew. She did tell you.
Well, she may have told me a little. I didn't believe her.
Ah, that's a mistake, Mac. You should always believe her. I loved him. God help me, I held him in my arms and I loved him. But it doesn't matter. When George Marion came to ask me for help, I wanted to help him. I knew I should want to help him.
You did help.
Yes, but part of me wanted Venice to escape. She told you that too, didn't she? When is it over, Mac? When does somebody stop loving somebody?
I think when he tries to kill you.
Dear Mac, cool and clear-sighted as always. Then try to understand that it must be tonight. While I still hate him. Tonight, Mac, please. Thank you.
just watch and relax. If you see anyone that interests you, speak up.
Does that apply only to spies?
What about them? Habib, he owns the carnival. The photographer is his daughter.
The father? It's hard to say. A little bit old, but that would be easy enough to do. There's something about the cheekbones.
Yeah, we'll make him impossible.
Haven't you checked out the backgrounds of the people who work here?
As far as we were able. Naturally, Venice would assume the identity of somebody who had to be clean. Kill and impersonate. Let's just concentrate on the physical types. The man with the cape, Kovacs.
I don't think so.
Are you sure? He does a human fly act, probably capable of scaling a hotel wall.
I really don't think so. The hands are different, smaller.
Scratch Kovacs. What about the man with the sunglasses?
Impossible. Too much jaw.
Scratch sunglasses. What about her, Madame Olga?
A woman?
She's advertised as one.
Well, her records.
We don't know they're really hers. Didn't you say Venice escaped to England, disguised as a woman?
Not that one.
Scratch the madam. What about them? The one on the left is Aldo, a knife thrower.
No, I think he's too small. And the shoulders, they... Who's that? The man on the right.
I don't know. Yes, I do. It's, Harper. He runs a Ferris wheel.
You see, he's just the right shape. And his head. But the walk is all wrong. There was more spring to Venice's step.
Oh, a man can change his walk.
But why would he, unless he knew he were being observed?
Yes?
Sykes here, Commissioner. I found something extremely important that I think you should see.
Can't it wait?
No, sir, we can't wait. Well, as you always say, you never know when one clue scientifically advanced may be the one clue that will get the job done, as it were. This is it, Commissioner.
All right, I'll be there. My lab man leaves nothing to chance.
Good. Venice leaves nothing to chance either.
I'll be at this number. Lock the door behind me. If you need Sergeant Enright, knock on that wall. And make sure he identifies himself.
Mac, you're mothering me.
I am. I'm sorry.
I haven't lived this long allowing strangers into rooms with no exits.
I assume you won't mind if I worry a little.
No, that'd be good for you.
Oh, please, Mrs. McMillan. You're forgetting my condition. Sober.
Sorry, Mildred. Why doesn't Mac call? Where is he?
Well, since we're asking questions, why don't we start with the big one? Who's he with?
Elena Standish.
Oh, yeah, the former spy. Swell.
He's worried about her. He thinks her life could be in danger.
And you?
I'm worried about Mac.
Good thinking.
Who's the man with the mustache? What does he want? I'm sure that he's following Mac and Elena right now.
Well, I certainly hope so. It's better than being alone together, isn't it?
Mildred.
This is what I raced all the way over here to see? I thought you said you cracked the case.
Actually, the crack is here, sir, in the handle of the knife. This is a Syrian camel skinning knife, possibly Iranian. There's an extensive literature on knives, which I've studied them all.
Sykes.
So, would you mind looking at this, please? You will observe that the lead core in the curved handle visibly cracked. A hairline fracture, you might say. True, nevertheless. How do you suppose that happened?
Probably stepped on by an overweight dromedary.
Oh, hardly, sir. I would have been able to detect some part of the animal's hoof. Is the commissioner joking?
The commissioner is not sure. What about the pills?
Oh, I have just finished testing the pills.
Good. What'd you find?
Each contains 27 grams of cellulose, 4.2 gram essence of...
Poison?
No, sir. No poison at all.
Do you mean to say that you called me all the way down here just to show me a crack in a knife?
Well, it's a recent crack, an irregularity on the murder weapon. Think of it, sir. Police lab, cite him. Yes, it's for you, sir.
Yes?
Mac, the Ferris wheel man, Harper,
What about him?
he just went by again, and he's walking differently. More bounce, springy.
Where'd he go?
Well, that's the funny thing. The Ferris wheel is closed, but he went over to it, and I haven't seen him leave. Should I send the sergeant over to look?
No, that would leave you alone. I'll be right over.
Commissioner! I saw the wheel stop and go, and I thought it was you.
Elena.
Open up!
Mac, are you all right? Was there something by the Ferris wheel?
A dead man. I got my first good look at him. It's Miles Eisner.
But Miles was killed years ago. I mean, we saw.
We thought we saw.
You mean he's been alive all these years and nobody knew?
One person knew.
Maybe I was wrong, but it was necessary. Everybody assumed that Eisner was dead, and that gave me an agent who could work black. The only people who knew that Eisner was alive were Eisner and me. I was his control.
And you couldn't trust me enough?
I don't operate on trust. I operate on need
and
to know.
And it didn't bother you all these years?
Of course it bothered me.
Well, not enough to tell me. I have a need to know now.
Eisner found out that Marion was going after Venice, and he was furious, wild with rage. It should have been his assignment. One unknown hunting another. He begged me to take Marion off the job and give it to him. When I refused, he disappeared.
What?
That's right. He broke away from me. I think Eisner followed Marion, thinking Marion would lead him to Venice, and then he could finish off Venice without worrying too much about technicalities.
Because he didn't exist, officially.
When Marion was killed, Miles latched onto you. He must have thought you were getting close.
I wasn't.
You didn't think so. Eisner did. It looks like he was right, doesn't it? You were close.
I get it. Eisner was the man with the mustache. Only you didn't figure it out because he...
Because he lost his hair and grew a mustache.
Right.
And besides, I didn't get a good look at him. Why did George Marion die in a chair?
You'll figure it out, darling.
I'll figure what out? Assume Venice tried to kill me. Why? Because he thinks Marion told me something? Because I brought Elena here? Something that happened in the carnival? Why did Marion die in a chair?
Going around in circles.
Any questions? Problem is which one to work on first.
Pick one. Flip a coin. Leave it to chance.
My lab man leaves nothing to chance.
Good. Venice leaves nothing to chance either.
Observe that the lead core of the curved handle.
Venice leaves nothing to chance.
Mac.
Neither did George Marion.
What are you mumbling about? The last thing I said was flip a coin.
Yes, you did. And I love you. Call Sergeant Ed Wright. Tell him to pick up Aldo, the knife thrower, and bring him to Elena's room quickly as possible. And get the knife from Sykes and bring it along with him. And thanks.
Anytime. Why did George Marion die in a chair?
Nobody can say that.
Just walk right in.
Right off.
Wherever they go. I mean, this joker just walks in and says, hey,
They're
I'm
people.
getting you straight. No, they have rights. They have rights.
Quiet!
It's over.
I just wanted to talk to Aldo.
What do you have against him? That he's a knife thrower?
I have nothing against him.
Aldo is not a suspect?
No, I need his expertise. There are no fingerprints on this knife, so we can handle it. Can you throw this knife?
If it's a knife, I can throw it.
Accurately.
It's a very old knife. Made for skinning, I would say, not throwing. Curved handle. Lead-filled, I would say. But it could be thrown accurately. I mean, I could hit a target with it. But the curve and the weight could cause the knife to flip over in flight.
Could you control it?
With practice, I could make this knife land point first almost all the time. Say 8 out of 10 throws.
Not good enough.
But I was hit by it. I didn't imagine this wound in my back.
Your wound is real enough. Nevertheless, the knife was not thrown.
What do you mean it wasn't thrown? It had to be thrown. She was alone in the room. Are you saying that somebody got through my security and then walked out again? Are you saying I did it?
If anybody threw the knife, it was Venice. But nobody could be sure the knife would land point first. As Elena reminded me, Venice leaves nothing to chance. Venice did not throw the knife. The knife was not thrown.
Then how did Elena get that?
The attack on Elena came rather late in the game. Let's back up a little bit. Ladies and gentlemen, excuse me. Sergeant.
Sir?
You up to a little role playing?
Anything to say, sir?
Right. Your name is George Marion. You are alone in your room at the Sands Inn. You've just swallowed prussic acid, but you don't know it yet. You take it in a capsule. When you feel it, you'll know what it is. You feel it. You now have 30 seconds left to live. You now realize a spy named Venice poisoned you, and you know who Venice is because you know who had access to your capsules. You grab for a pen on the table. But it won't write. Your friend McMillan is due any minute. So how can you get a message to him that'll implicate Venice?
Venice. Venice. Van Ischen Klein.
Take a look at this. You fell on the floor, but Marion's body is sitting in a chair.
Well, I did exactly what you told me.
And you were perfect.
So Marion is seated in a chair.
And the Venetian blind is on end.
Not only that, but his body is braced up against it, so it'll stay that way. Now, why go to all that trouble if the message was Venice did it?
That wasn't the message.
Not all of it. The Venetian blind represents Venice. And it was on end. Upright.
Venice is upright?
Pretty close. Mark, it works in English. But remember that funny fractured German Marion used to use? Venice is on end. Upright. Standing up. Venice is standing.
Venice is standing, Venedig steht.
No, fractured.
Venice standish is. Venice is standish.
That's right. Venice is Elena Standish.
Mac, that's the worst joke since George Marion changed the washroom signs at Russian Secret Intelligence. You are serious?
There never was a Venice. You created him years ago when you became a double agent. When your missions were betrayed, sold out, you blamed it all on Venice, a man only you had seen.
I don't believe you're saying this. I mean, it's ridiculous. And there's no way to prove it, one way or the other. I mean, you know that.
Your creation of Venice was brilliant. It assured you of perfect retirement with honors. All of your missions were successful except for the few he betrayed, which, of course, nobody would blame on you. So with no further need for him, you let us believe he had died. Unfortunately, Marion discovered the corpse was a phony and set out after Venice. You couldn't let that go on, could you?
Why not? What could he find? He was looking for a man who didn't exist.
Marion was a skillful agent. If he'd looked long enough, he'd realize he was looking for a... What was it he used to say?
A tall, short...
Yeah. No, a tall, thin, short, fat, bald man with curly hair. Marion used to say that if you start looking for him, you better give a hard look at the people giving the description. He'd have figured it out. He'd have reached that point.
So I killed George Marion. He died in San Francisco while I was in Taos, but I killed him? How? Oh, I know. I flew in on my broomstick and I told him that the pills were candy.
When you found out he was after Venice, you knew you'd have to kill him. So when he came to your place, your dog set him to coughing and sneezing, and he had to take one of his pills, and it all fell into place for you. You got a hold of his capsules and put poison in one of them.
Oh.
Now, wait a minute. She couldn't have known when he'd take it.
All the better. She'd given him a lead to Venice that guaranteed him a tour of every carnival in the country. They all have animals. So he took his pills, and by, he took the one that counted, far away from her.
And the suspects would be carnival people?
Of course.
You're not taking this seriously, are you?
How did she get the knife in her back?
Oh, I'm surprised at you. I thought every intelligence man knew that trick. Incidentally, this is the part that cracked the knife handle. Now, this part takes real guts. She backed into this, released the door, and walked to the window with a knife in her back. Something like this.
That's quite enough. I want to see everybody's hands at all times. And I do hope I don't have to demonstrate the alternative.
As one professional to another, Elena, you've got the wrong hostage. I mean, if I were escaping, I'd take with me a high police official. He wouldn't scream or get hysterical. And I would, in effect, have the opposition commander under my control.
Are you volunteering? I assume you will be kind enough to call and remove your operatives from the lobby.
Where to, Elena?
Cab to the airport.
Then?
You charter a plane.
To take us where?
You don't have to say where. You're the commissioner. It's an emergency.
That's right. You won't have to name a destination until the plane's in the air. Then where? If you were an agent for a foreign government, probably be a boat waiting for you in some lonely harbor or another plane waiting somewhere. But you've got no homeland to go to. It's only a question of which country will put you in prison for life or which country will execute you.
Keep moving, Mac.
No.
I'll kill you.
You're gonna do that anyway, aren't you? If it isn't here, it'll be someplace else, probably with a lot of people around. At least here, there'll only be one more casualty. But remember, once you've killed me, you've got no hostage. And that leaves Erickson's men free to kill you, probably before you get out of the lobby.
You knew how all this would end, didn't you? You planned it, Mac. All of it. Getting the people to look at the knife. Giving me the chance to... And you tricked me.
Let's face it, it's over. You're a spy with no cover. You've got nowhere to go. It's all over.
Well, I told you you'd figure it out. There's only one thing that I can't figure out. Usually when you figure it out, I can figure out how you figured it out. Only this time, I can't figure it out.
Okay. What can't you figure out?
Well, Elena killed Eisner. How did Elena kill Eisner? I mean, she was sealed in the animal cart and he was at the Ferris wheel.
Easy. She wasn't sealed in. The world was sealed out. When you're protecting somebody, you guard against break-in, not break-out.
Yes, but Enright would have seen her walk out the door.
That was a real animal cart we used. Had a drain in the floor. All she had to do was lift the grill off, climb out from underneath. She got back in the same way.
I never could have known that.
You know, when we were at her house, she lied to us. I should have had it, but you almost got it.
I did. You mean when she told us about that last meeting with Venice?
A spy never tells another spy when he's retiring.
But I told you that it wasn't spy to spy. I told you that it was man to woman.
Makes it all the more unbelievable. When a man ends a love affair, he doesn't go to all of that trouble to arrange a meeting with the lady. He goes to all that trouble to avoid it.
You know you're right.
Of course I'm right.
How did you know all of that?
Oh, in my younger days.
Yes.
I was an insatiable reader. Hey, wait a minute.
What?
How did you know I was right?
Well, in my younger days,
Yes.
I think we read the same books.
আব্বা আম্মা যদি তোর ছোটকালে জানতো তোর হাইটের লগে তোর গাদামির হাইটটা একটু বাড়বো, তাহলে নিজ দিয়ে এমনিতেই 6 ইঞ্চি কাটা দিত, তোর আর গাদামি বাড়তো। শুন, আব্বা আম্মা যা বলে তা কর, বিয়েটা কর, আর আমার রাস্তাটা একটু ক্লিয়ারটা কর।
ও
আমি তোমার পথের কাটা না। তোরা কেউ চাস না যে আমি পড়াশোনা করে এই নিজের পায়ে দাঁড়াই।
তুই তো নিজের পায়ে দাঁড়াস নাই, তুই তো আমার কাঁধের উপর ভর করে দাঁড়ায় আসছিস। এই আসো। বড় এই কি তোরা সকালবেলা এরকম কাঁদতেছিস কেন? আব্বাও কাঁদতেছে, আম্মাও কাঁদতেছে। কিছু আম্মা কি সকালবেলা কি সিরিয়াল দেখা শুরু করছে? তাহলে কিছু চুরি হয়েছে বাসায়? কেউ মারা গেছে? কেউ কি মরার আগে হসপিটালে অ্যাডমিট হয়েছে? তাহলে কি হয়েছে? সবাই এরকম আয়োজন করে কাঁদতেছে কেন?
বাবা মা বলতেছে আমার নাকি পড়াশোনার দরকার নাই, ধান থাকলে নাকি ধানের মাঝে চিটাও থাকে, আমি নাকি চিটা।
হ্যাঁ তাহলে তো ঠিকই বলছে। আর তুই কখনো দেখছো আব্বা আম্মা পোলাবাড়ির সাথে মিথ্যা কথা বলে?
ভাই কেউ কথা কইছে? কইছে আমার 1 মাসের মধ্যে বিয়ে করা লাগবে, বিয়ে করা 9 মাসের মধ্যে বাচ্চা পয়দা দেওয়া লাগবে।
মাত্র 9 মাস টাইম দিছে? তুই তো নির্ঘাত ফেল করবি। মানে তোর যে পড়াশোনার কন্ডিশন, তুই 9 মাসের সাথে তোর আরো মিনিমাম 4 মাস টাইম দেওয়া লাগবে, তারপর যদি 12। আচ্ছা দোকানদাররা অবশ্য নতুন যারা বিয়ে করে তাকে চেয়ার দিকে তাকায় থাকে 2 পয়সা ইনকামের জন্য, তোর দিয়ে সেটাও হবে না। তুই চিন্তা বাদ। হ্যাঁ বল।
তুইও
কি?
আমি আগেই সন্দেহ করছিলাম তুই আমার মায়ের পেটের ভাই না। মায়ের পেটের ভাই হলে তুই এরকম করে কথা বলতে পারতি না। তোর আমার না কোনো মিল নাই, না আছে স্বভাবের মিল, না আছে চরিত্রের মিল, না আছে তোর এই যে চেহারার মিল, গায়ের কালারের মিল, কোনো কিছু মিল নাই। বাইকটা
শোন, আব্বা আম্মায় যদি তোর ছোটকালে জানতো তোর হাইটের লগে তোর গাদামির হাইটটা একটু বাড়বো, তাহলে নিজ দিয়ে এমনিতেই 6 ইঞ্চি কেটে দিত, তোর আর গাদামি বাড়তো। শোন, আব্বা আম্মা যা বলে তা কর, বিয়েটা কর, আর আমার রাস্তাটা একটু ক্লিয়ারটা কর।
ও আমি তোমার পথের কাটা না, আমি তোমার জীবনের বাধা। তোরা কেউ আমার ভালো চাস না, তোরা কেউ চাস না যে আমি পড়াশোনা করে এই নিজের পায়ে দাঁড়াই।
তুই তো নিজের পায়ে দাঁড়াস নাই, তুই তো আমার কাঁধের উপর ভর করে দাঁড়ায় আসছিস। শোন, আমি তোর ছোট হিসেবে চাই তুই আব্বা আম্মার কথাটা শোন, তুই 1 মাসের মধ্যে বিয়েটা কর, আমি কবজি ডুবায়া তোর বিয়ার কাচ্চি খাবো, বুঝছস? এই আসো।
Thì 400 à? 400. Đây kiểm tra năng lượng này. Somos 700 rồi, rebat được một lần nữa. Ok. Lần này sẽ rebat được 10 anh quay qua kia anh binh. Anh sẽ là bố của qua kia. Yes. Thua hoài à? Không cội thắng à? Át một thực sự là khó đấy. Sẽ lấy một cái đồ ánh sáng đi, sẽ là cái cung xanh ánh sáng đi. Hai cái giảm yếu hai bên nhỉ? Thôi cái phải đang kéo một cái vùng đầu. Về rồi 25 chắc là nốt rồi nữa thì lên 8 vậy. Lại là cái thằng Zurich này, sao nó vẫn lên được quân ấy 3 nhỉ? Đưa con Zurich 3 ở đâu ra ấy. Rồi nó con Nautilus nữa, mình cầm tận 4 con Nautilus rồi chúng nó vẫn còn à. Ê xong ý làm mày không 3 được, thua không? Thua à. Ok rồi, đi rồi. Tốc mấy đây? Chưa đi, sắp đi. Anh đi xa rồi, anh không lái xe nữa, anh đắp mộ rồi, không thể là ride cạt được. Khóc U Linh à? Em phải cút. Cút đi. Đây đi cho đỡ bị bắn vào đầu. Cày tê tại mình bắn cặp tự. cầu của cô bà. Bộ cô bà nhưng mà ít tiền không sao? Ít tiền. Tích xong rồi bao nhiêu máu? Có 5.000 máu rồi mà. Chắc thế. Bế mày. Đối kia ông chết à? Đối kia xét bế không được. Không thiếu mấy cái cùng dao. Chậm quá. Đây đừng người nó vả. Rồi nó vả át trước à? Mày ý thua. Đi chợ nhặt xem một cái cung đi. Sợ nhặt một cái cung đi. Anh cũng sắp không đi rồi, anh sẽ được đi chợ trước. Ai cũng đau rồi. Đó số cả mày đi anh chơi lắm. Đừng nhặt nhầm đồ. Xong. Có đủ đồ này. Chả có nằm gì đấy, có ấn gì cả. Ấn gì đấy? Ấn thần thoại, ấn sử ra. Trốn không? Trốn khó. 400 củ đấy. Thì có phải nữa là 531 củ. Tiền perfect. Perfect. Nifty code 416 lap. Qua 400 lap rồi. Rồi. Pháp rồi xong này. Đi lao, và này còn đồ đéo nữa. Còn nào đạp phép không? Sắt thương phép này. Sắt 500 sắt thương phép này. Con này full sắt thương phép này. Ok. Nào đéo có gì. Còn một cái kiếm có đồ nó đéo. Ok, xong. Với ai đây? Ba cái thằng kia. Bạn kia có lắc thì sự láo đấy. Bạn kia có lắc thì đéo hiểu ấy. 500 củ thiếu 30 triệu nữa. Thiếu 26 triệu mốt nữa thì sẽ được là đủ tiền để stream quét phát nữa. Đây 6.6 rồi. 6.4 nhỉ, cái mất rồi. Mà là tầm 6 chấm hơn. Yes. Mày A2 nữa là xong. A2 nữa là xong game. Ui rê. Hỏng đấy. Ui tí cút đánh bóng ạ. Bóng thằng nào ấy? Hộ cái đi. Thằng bốc lửa. Gì tí thua. Chi mình nhầm bóng nó tí cút. Cho thêm máu à? 19 thì làm chi? Giờ mình phải thắng hoặc mình cút một trong hai thằng này. Được. Được, vẫn đéo đủ. Kéo ra át này. Thằng này cầm 2 con át. Thằng cầm 2 con át này. Thằng này không cầm át nào. Nó muốn lửa đeo giết nó rồi. Nó 5 máu rồi đấy, giờ thì 15. Nó muốn chết thì chết. Cái thằng quay con lắc 3 bắn phát cho gần con át 100 cút. Cầm át rồi nhưng mà nếu là át nhở cũng mất 4 con mà không tỏ một bắn lỏ lắm. Để bảo mà một bắn lỏ nhất còn bị cc bị hất tung nữa trốn còn lắp bắn số phát chết át thì mày qua là bắn nhóc kia chưa? Mày đi bố thắng gì đây rồi đến được giao dòng rồi kiếm đồ tanh tụ cao vậy thôi 130 quay thì số tốt 3 5 6 6 3 7 40 à 5 9 10 40 à 98 à ai 98 này phải bay một phân rồi. What the hell boy. Rồi, bye bye. Yeah, đi đâu ba. Rồi, phải đủ vào bài kiếm tiền 36 phải kiếm 80 tỷ. Tăng 80 tỷ để quay 10 lần của chiến sĩ sinh hoạt kia. Của đây sẽ cũng căng đấy chứ. Của 37k lợi nhuận đấy. Ui, thua. Tận lại. Xong rồi quay 36 m chụp lại nha. Đó không perfect siêu buồn đấy. Đó đi đây tốt rồi. Chít ui không đấu à. Lòng rất là mở trung tàu rồi 2 lần có tới gì 3 lần có tới gì 4 lần 5 lần 22 tiền tắt giật nước màu này 39 tỷ năng lượng giống hải ở đây ạ theo 1 tỷ năng lượng giống nhỉ. Cái gì vậy? Chỉ để nói nha. Tỷ năng lượng mà nó nên nhiều lượng vãi. Lưỡi kiếm uy lực. Ui bây giờ hút cút rồi vậy làm à bài chọn không vậy thầy ơi. Đấy tên hai con kia đâu, hai con hút ly thầy 59 màu rồi. Phải tiếp rồi. Phải tiếp hút lên đi. Đó. Đó. Không bay ở không tính. Nha. Mút rồi. Rồi mút phải sẽ bay được 5 lần bay luôn. Chờ nó mệt lắm. Chờ đâu 5 quả Vinh. Còn cái gì đấy là cái chợ ngay Legendary của tao. What đi của tao đâu. What đi. Rồi về Legendary đây rồi. Cộng một tỷ sức mạnh. Quát ly nữa là đẹp, quát ly nữa đẹp, quát ly nữa đẹp, quát ly nữa đẹp, quát ly nữa đẹp. Đều được nhé. Là Legendary của quả này sử dụng kết cục đấy. Ở cuối này, phát cuối này. Quát ly, xanh lá. Đều được. Cũng là xanh lá thật đấy. Là poison nhé. Nhau 1, 2, 3, 4 là sẽ xịn lắm. Bên chị Watley này còn 9.000 thôi á. Đúng nhỉ, rồi quay Watley ra rồi. 200k What the hell. Lấy gì đấy? Kiếm không? Lưỡi kiếm một bố. 15k power. Trong khi này 9k 100k exit, 2k exit epic. Có gì biết à? 9k exit. Để xem cái này nó còn hàng. Thừa thì mất 2 lần nhưng mà qua đây kiếm tiền để vớt nha. Chẳng mà sao chúng nó cứ chơi ở đây, kiếm tiền để vớt ở đây ạ. Ra chúng nó cứ bày ở đây thì anh cũng bày ở đây rồi. Những quan đi vớt. Rồi ra khỏi xe. Kinret ra Kinret thờ rét luôn. Chuẩn form vậy thầy ơi. Sojin này. Sojin tiềm năng này. Kiếm đồ cho Asia rồi. Có quan trọng gì ra đâu. Sắp đủ đồ. Mình chia lên. Đầu ra quân ông ăn giỏi mà cho hiệu thần dừng thực sự là hợp lý đấy thầy. Bao là hợp lý. Luận đầu à để tài chính. Tắc kè phải thần dừng cũng vậy, tắc kè loài mắt. Lắc đi à? Lắc đi là sao? À, đẹp đấy nhỉ, đẹp đấy. Là đẹp. Không sao đâu bạn ơi. Không sao. Ngồi đầu. Mình không biết. Bay nhanh bay đét vào. Bay tỷ lap. Phải không vậy? Ta tính chưa? Tích chưa? Tích rồi. Tích rồi tích. Chỉ rồi, phải bay trên đỉnh một lúc mới xuống. Wow. Có phần nữa, theo hết 38. Ui. Eo thua mà. Thua được mà. Cái này thua được mà. Chôn không? Quà sinh nhật là trai quý nhở. Thua được mà mình thua này mà. May xăm này vậy. Ok đấy, đây đã tự di chuyển, là thầy di chuyển, là thầy chỉnh hai bên là xong. Binh không phải, binh không phải. Binh không thầy ơi, binh không thầy ơi, binh không thầy ơi, binh không thầy ơi. Binh. Ai á? Chôn tao. M là nó 50m. Nhanh lên tao. Từ từ rồi. Mặc thêm 7 đẹp. Chuẩn không nhỉ? Bài sự nét đấy. Đấy là đẹp. Vậy đi Hay à, mảnh rất nhiều mảnh nha, rất nhiều mảnh nha. Cung luôn mà, thôi xin cái mảnh lấy đồ chỗ ăn vậy. Thêm một cái giáp máu nữa. Kiếp, mấy cái mảnh cũng hết sạch mà. Anh lấy mảnh còn lại. Ok, hôm nay sẽ tăng tốc binh, tăng tốc. Let's go đến cái trái đến hành tinh kia rồi. Planet. Wow, sao không biết đâu. Ui, một con này xong. Con na giờ này vậy. Tôi tập đủ xét thế này. Tí không vậy, cái đéo rồi đây. Đéo gỡ đồ nhỉ, gỡ đồ là ngon rồi. Có một cái giờ này cũng gọi là sử dụng chiếc binh chi linh ấy. Lại sẽ boost tốc mắc binh chi linh cho em 1,9 1.3 triệu, bay phân nữa rồi. Quay đều. Let's go broccoli. Boost đến hành tinh khủng long cho tao. Hành tinh khủng long và tiến qua tài. Ok broccoli ơi, mắc tốc độ của thầy rồi. Nào ê, một năm mấy này mà nó chỉ cho ăn được mấy trăm 100.000 như này đấy, thắng luôn mà đều được. Mắc cái broccoli 300.000 này, 300 thêm nhà tinh quá. Đây thì một lần nữa ra đâu anh là người may mắn, anh là người nghèo. Cô tạo anh là người may mắn, tổng tính 30 quả. Có quyền năng rồi này, bình xong giống với kiếm. Có cái phép kiếm xong rồi, không viên. May mắn chắc là 50 tiền thôi chứ đâu. Không ra còn đồ xí nữa. Lắp cho thằng này đi, để rồi này xong. Luôn nghĩ đến này thì tiếp đấy. Mắc phải mắc 3 vậy. Này, mất 3 hiện tại. Mắc gì nhỉ? Mất tên rồi. Anh là trẻ may mắn, anh phải chứng thứ nhất là về revert lên 1 triệu revert ở lên revert nhỉ. Bây giờ anh phải chứng thứ nhất là phải revert đi, phải chứng anh chén lắm. Revert ôi không, để bay thì nó bay thì nó bay. Đã vào cái 15 hết của tao gì rồi gì revert level 1 rồi thì sao, rồi sao quest revert xong mới có quest à, chuồn bảo ha lấy trốn mình cả bật. Ui quần chắc sợ mày đi tấn đầu lập sẽ lên là 2 mình làm gì đây đơn giản đen hoặc xài 3 xài 2 xong. Anh là kẻ may mắn. Ok broccoli đúng cái áo choàng rồi à, chơi đi chơi đúng không 2 củ vẫn là mấy cái trường đấy mà. Nhưng mà phá khoảng rồi mình sẽ lên được sẽ đến tiếp theo bình mình quay lốt ta bình ra gì đây, con số gì thua này, huyết kiếm mà nữ rồi Suzone à, huyết kiếm cùng đao kìa. Đấy, xịt lát đã có lõi đấu sĩ rồi, còn có lõi hiền giả nữa, epic này. Ngon. Một chỗ trang bị thành phần rồi. Rồi anh sẽ vào. Anh 70 máu. Mạnh. Rồi xong. Mày đi. Rồi xong rồi đi đổi mua này đó. Cái này là mỗi khi hiền giả độc nhất bắt đầu tại hai hàng giữa. Yes. Mình cầm máu trên búa. Hết rồi á? Full rồi. Rồi. Vẫn là một con le. Đây là gì của cái trước. Đây chỉ thế thôi. 30 à? Sáng. Đéo có tiền mà nâng. Mày đéo có tiền thì phải nâng đi chứ. Yên. Cái này đấy. Tí cái này đấy. Yep. 1,7 mở được 10 lần nữa. Mở được 10 lần nữa. Chôn không. Epic luôn. Bây giờ đang là nó tự lên xếp của chọn này. Rằng sẽ làm 18 nhân 10 à? Hơi kinh nghiệm không có vòng đấu không? Mona kiếm vào. Rồi cầm một cái đầu phép ấy, cầm một cái quyền trượng ấy. Xin ra rồi. Xin làm 4 tiền quyền trượng. Xong. Yes, xin ra 4 tiền quyền trượng. Xong rồi hết tiền. Cái gì đấy? Godly. Mày đi. Xong rồi. Godly. Không tự dùng ở Mythic. Không phải Godly ở game này không thể tên là Godly. Mày đi. Sự là mạnh ấy. Ê, game này có đát à? Hay à? Đợi biết đấy. Nhìn đát thì nhỉ? Đát cái may mắn. Đừng rồi. Chi rồi. Lại để cái này cho mạnh. Đang là cái may mắn. Có đát đi sự nhanh ấy. Đát hồi nhanh phết. Không, mình cần biết cái đát hồi là nào. Từ nhặt đến 200 vũ ấy. 200 vũ người ra bạch đát không ra gì. Thì ra mở ra mới thích mà sự mấy cái quan ở cái chạy này dễ đấy. Cái game này rất dễ. Qua một 2 quan liên tục trong 2 lần liên tục rồi kiểu 4 cái chém nó nghe tiếng biết mình chém không vua trưởng 75 rồi này ngon thực sự đang ở đây tách buồn một cái lần trắng ạ 180 à gì đấy tháng vào đây 180 à 81 182 nhặt hết mũ vải không ra mũ rồi để trời nói đâu thì một kia nè xuân ra là cũng phù thủy đại binh này sẽ tự lập cho đây rồi mũ này anh sẽ nhặt full và mũ lại yes sir boy 188 12 cái nữa 188 90 10 cái nữa 22 91 92 93 94 95 này 95 96 97 đâu à đây 97 98 900 xong 900 200 đâu nhỉ quay nhớ có trong em ngủ chỗ nào what the hell nhớ có chỗ cái mũ mà nhở đây không phải đây à đâu nhờ chỗ ngủ mình đứng ra anh nhớ là gì không phải bắt rồi ủa rồi bay rồi nhưng là kìa may mắn anh là kẻ may mắn Bình. Út, thích chết không cái thằng này? Thì anh luôn ra Mythic thích chết không? Ê, Mythic không báo à? Mythic không báo này. Rồi, mắc rồi, lên mắc. Rồi lên đúng đáy sau rồi. Xong. Pass. Mắt theo. Ba dê. Game easy. Quả thua. Caro mà. Không caro. Không caro nhỉ? Thằng này caro. Ngon. Xong đủ rồi đây. Xong. Đủ rồi mà. Giờ chỉ up chat thôi. Giờ chỉ lên chat. Đủ rồi. Xong máu làm sao? Còn nói tiền sự binh. Bay lên cho thầy. Gì đấy? 1.1 xong bóng tiếp theo. Sự là của lại nhỉ? What the hell thằng này để cái gì đấy? Ở đấy cái gì đấy? Tôn tao. Để cái nhạc gì đấy? Hay là game thế? Game bữa ấy là sự là bữa TV toilet này. Uầy,